Welcome, everyone, to the KQ Show, episode 32, Instructional Guide for Your Listening Pleasure. For those new to the show, hi, I'm Kyle. I'm just like everyone else. Every 6 months, I get on Facebook and comment, "Those were the days," on my ex-girlfriend's bathing suit pictures from high school. As a young lad, I had what my parents would call the gift of gab. I love conversations with interesting people and just having a good laugh. I'll be chatting with business owners, entrepreneurs, whoever rides shotgun, and Tom from MySpace. Episode 32 brings us Talking with a Marine. To celebrate Veterans Day and the U.S. Marine Corps' birthday, I sit down with 17-year Marine Chris Ruffner. We talk careers, family life, and the difficulties of handling mental health in the military. We also enjoy a few cold ones, and we play a few games. As always, enjoy the show. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the KQ Show. Episode, I think we're on 32, episode 32. Joining me today is Mr. Chris Ruffner. Welcome in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
We did just get done doing the smelling salt challenge, and let me tell you, I am crying. That was probably the worst, because I was born without a sense of smell. So, nearing, like with smelling salts, it's such a kick to your face. You kind of want to get it near your nose, and your nose is going to pick up the warning, hey, don't smell too hard. Nope, I dropped both nostrils into that fucking bottle, and my eyeballs, it felt like somebody lit the back of my eyeballs on fire, and then they're just like, hey, yeah, figure it out.
Yeah, I had a separate experience. You know, yours was, since you don't smell, you got the different type of experience than I did, but when I smelled it, you handing me the bottle, my body already went into convulsions, and was like, you're not doing this. But I had to. I committed. Maybe an 80% smell in comparison, or 110%, but yeah, it was an experience, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, first off, I want to say, happy. So everybody's saying, is Veterans Day today?
I think it's like observed. I think that's what they say.
Cause
I was looking online. I'm like, is it today? I thought it was the same day, but then I look at the calendar. I guess tomorrow maybe like officially Veterans Day, but today is the let's see how many years the Marine Corps has been around. It was November 10th, 1775. And
wow.
I'm not a mathematician, but we are
that's
pretty
like
old.
247 years.
Yeah, 248. That was right.
That was pretty close.
240. Math. Yeah, you're
that
really good.
I think I might have just guessed.
But yeah, you know what I appreciate and I love, obviously, we were found in a bar, Ton Tavern, back in the day, no big deal. But that I have two birthdays, September 3rd, turned 36. Yeah, 36, but yeah. 200 and, what did I just say, 48 years. That's insane.
Years.
We're approaching 250 years. And, we're still kicking it. And the one thing that I love about the Marine Corps, not only being found in a bar, right, is just the traditions and, like, what little does change. We still have Marines who are, severely alcoholics, which is not a good thing. But we have Marines that are proud to be, part of the small, the few, the proud, right?
Yeah.
And being found in a bar, and where it is very few that were part of the original few, right? I mean,
what's the story of that? I've never heard that. It's the first time I've experienced.
Yeah, so Ton Tavern, so basically they needed to establish a new
the year was what, 17 when?
1775, right?
So
is that pretty significant, right?
Yeah, but am I wrong? Because I'm real bad with
history. I'm horrible too.
Even Marine Corps history. 1776. What's the
we're talking about when the...
Isn't like, I thought that's when we became... I'm so bad with this. Is going to be fun. People are going to listen and go, wow, these two guys are real smart.
No. When it comes to like history, I'll tell you that's like my I wish I was better at history, but like I like current events and like I like to see where the future is going. I mean, but to be fair, sometimes you got to look at the past.
Yeah, see, and I know a lot of people that way.
Like
I couldn't tell. If you told me if you gave me a war, I guarantee you I couldn't probably ballpark.
War of 1812.
I want to say the 70s, 1970s.
You're close.
Yeah. Was it disco?
I have no idea. I just know that it's not 1812 war.
Oh, it's not really 1812?
Yeah, it's War of 1812.
War of 1812 was in 1960.
The British Orders in Council. Well, either way, history, right? But yeah, 1776 is a pretty...
Is it like isn't the Declaration of Independence? Am I wrong? Why do I feel like that's the... I mean, people are going to listen to this.
It's got to be the Declaration of
Independence. I thought
it
it was 1776.
It is. Like, that's
when
right. So think about it. 1775, we were a pinnacle year, and probably something that happened to, kind of ensure the Declaration of Independence was
Yeah.
done.
So what is so let me know. So you 17 years. Okay. So
Yeah, I hit 17, I think, officially, June of next year, which is, 7 months away, right?
That's great. So to give a little background, so I mean, we worked at Best Buy together, 2004, probably to 4 to 09. Okay. So what, from starting at, I mean, did you start at Best Buy before going?
Yeah,
in?
so
Okay,
04, I was still in high school, right?
So what got you? I mean, did you have family that was in the Marines, or what got you there?
Well, what got me, no, so my grandpa's in the Navy, but way back in the day, obviously. He did, 4 or 5, very few years. And it ended up being an educator, principal of South Bend schools. Amazing man, right? But, it's really, I never looked at my grandfather and was like, military man or whatever. I knew there was that military background. I appreciated him, right, and respected that. But what really made me join the Marines was, I'm a high schooler, probably I think junior year rather. So I'm approaching my senior year. That's when they really hit you. They're like, hey, well, you're going to be a senior. Like, you probably should join the military, right? And then, all the recruiters, right? So I talked to my recruiter. His name, Staff Sergeant McBride was his name. And I never forget. Obviously, we never forget our recruiters or our drill instructors for that matter. But he got me, right? Like, oh, you're going to join with us, do the little at-home test. Oh, I'll bring a pizza. They gun on your side.
Yeah.
They come at you a certain way, right? They know what high schoolers and kids are want and how they need to have things sold to, right? And I'm like, what? It sounds great. And then I just ghosted him. Literally ghosted the guy for a year. A year. I'm sure he's like, this kid's not going to do it. He's not ready to be a Marine, whatever, right? And I remember it like not like it was yesterday because I'm old as hell. But I remember laying down. I'm a senior. I'm sure we continue to talk about colleges coming up and when kids are talking about, oh, I'm going to go to this college or I'm going to do this job, whatever, right? And I remember laying in bed one night and sitting up, literally physically sitting up and going, what am I going to do? And I'm like, and it instantly hit me. You're going to do something that none of them are going to do. And I joined the Marines. I went back to that recruiter. Same recruiter was still there, again, another year ago. Staff Sergeant McBride, I went to him and I'm like, I'm ready to go. That dude took no time to get me down to MEPS to sign that paperwork. I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm sure, he hit his
quota. He went to his checklist.
He got me later. I mean, when I got promoted, he got me. I won't go in the details of that, but yeah, he got me good. Ended up, I just went to him and I even told him because I went there on recruiter's assistance years later, after all my schooling and boot camp and everything. But I remember going to him. I go, I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. I remember what I did. It wasn't out of malice or intention. It was just I was scared, I guess. I don't know. I just scared of the unknowns, right?
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm sorry. I respect you more. I respect what you do more. Understanding this is a hard job, right? And but I appreciate you sticking in there with me and keep me in and helping me take that leap forward and joining and going to boot camp and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was just kind of a sporadic, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. Going to college, and nothing wrong with college, don't get me wrong, but when you don't know exactly what you want to go to college for or what job you want to do with said degree, you end up just going, you know what? It's not an easy out, because joining the military, especially the Marine Corps in general, is not an easy out, but it was a easy way for me to take a giant leap and growing up and to mature quickly. I mean, I'm sure you remember Marine Chris and then post Marine Chris. And there was, I'm sure there was some underlying similarities as far as my humor or whatever. But ultimately, there was a big grow up period. And I'm glad that I'm glad that I went with it.
Well, that's good. Honestly, even right today, like I told you, I've kind of seen, kind of your life, since, working at the Best Buy and kind of seeing how that goes. So what was the biggest thing because you're talking 17 years in the military. So this is a career. You think about it. This is, your career. So you invested all your time in that. What was the biggest thing that shocked you?
About being in the Marines, during the Marines?
Maybe, whether it was right away or once you got in, what was the biggest thing that you were like, fuck, this is...
So when I initially joined, just to kind of go back to it, I joined as a reservist. I was ready for a giant leap, but I wasn't ready for a submerge, I guess you would say, right? Mm-hmm. So I joined the reserves, but it was a great, and I deployed shortly after going reserves, so it was almost like I didn't go reserves, right? I deployed Iraq, but I loved it enough that I'm like, you know what, let's make this I think that was my like biggest surprise, that I was good, that I loved it, and that I wanted to take that next step and making it a ultimate career. I thought my initial was like, I'm just going to join the reserves, dabble my, put, tiptoe around or tip my foot in the pool, right? Excuse me, edit that out. And then I ended up loving it enough and being like, you know what, like I love this, like I'm passionate about this. And what ultimately led me to go active duty was the job that I'm currently in, and loving it enough to where like I knew I in this type of job would impact so many Marines and their lives and their careers.
So what is your job then? What's your role?
Glad you asked.
Yeah,
I segued. I don't know if you realized.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
hey, he's gonna ask the question. So I'll go back to what I originally joined for, because you got to kind of see the timeline here. I originally joined. I was communications, right? So I was like essentially. It was a 0622 is the MOS. It's a multi-channel equipment operator, wideband, whatever. Long name,
like
weird
radar
acronym.
from MASH.
Exactly, yeah, but just not as cool, because MASH was pretty legit. But we worked on these.
Sorry.
We worked on these big radios that went inside of Humvees. They had these long poles and that you would have to like raise up to like 30, 50, 100 feet, whatever. It was crazy as far as comm goes. It was interesting, right? Joint comm, because that was the reserve unit that was close to home in Peru, Indiana.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Grissom Air Force Base.
Yeah. I drive
That
all the
was
time.
my-
Radar detector always goes off.
Yeah, that's right. So I drilled out of there. Again, 5 years, did my Iraq stint, but I became the unit's collateral duty career planner, meaning that essentially I look at it like HR. I like to say like it's HR because it's the best way to kind of relate to like a civilian job, right? But I just, I would do interviews with the Marines, pardon me, and then I would through those interviews, do you want to stay in? Do you want to get out? And let's work on the contract. And I'm like, this is cool. I like doing it. Like I'm a personable person, energetic. I like to. God, there's a lot of weird things that we get taught in the schools, but like match and mirror, and like gain commitment and test for yes, all these weird things that I'm sure you've even heard of. Even like some of these big companies work through those kind of catchwords, right, or phrases. But I did that as a reservist, right, for the unit. I was a collateral duty, meaning it wasn't my main job. Right. This is like a side job just to that we need to fill, right? And I loved it enough that I'm like, I want to do this full time on active duty. So I worked with one of the schoolhouse instructors. I'm like, let's do my package to go active duty. I want to do this full time. And I get my package in. They're like ready to approve it. And they're like, oh, by the way, you can't do it. You can't do this job because you have to be a sergeant. And because when you go active duty, being a reservist, you don't get to keep your rank. You actually got to get demoted. So I went from a sergeant in the reserves to a corporal. So E5 to E4. And
just to be deployed?
Just to be able to go active duty, to be able to fill this active duty career planner gig that I am doing now. Yeah. Wow. So I got reduced in rank, and I'm like, you know what? I'm this far. I got the package basically approved.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something to get my foot in the door to go active duty, and then eventually maybe I'll be a career planner. Ended up doing some aviation support equipment mechanic for 4 years. Best time of my life probably. Stationed down there in Fort Worth, Texas, with an F-18 unit. It was awesome. We went on a UDP, saw the world, right? But as soon as I got promoted to sergeant again, I'm like, guess what? Boom. Put it in my package to be able to, they call it lateral move, but transition to that job that I wanted as a career planner, which I'm doing now, and have been doing it since 2016. So back to your original question, which I'm glad you asked. Sorry for the segue.
It's the KQ show. It takes random turns.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about smelling salts again. No,
just takes a random. Then people, eventually an hour later,
let's just do the smelling salts every 30 minutes. Yeah, set the timer. So I'm a career planner. I'm usually one of one at the unit, depending if it's 200 to 300 Marines to 16 to 18, 2,000 Marines. I am the one of one who works directly for the commanding officer, sergeant major, and really for the Marines that are part of that unit to make sure that they are provided all the necessary information, what they're qualified for, be there to support counsel, make sure that they know all their options to either stay in change jobs, get out, whatever it is. I'm there to kind of support and make sure they get the
So
information.
is it almost like, is it like when, so walk me through, so like, you're kind of almost doing like an exit interview, like when they're done, like being deployed overseas, that their time is done, and then you're there to go, hey, what, like,
So there's interviews set at different times. Since I'm an active reservist, right? So I'm stationed at usually active reserve Marines will be stationed at reserve units. So I'm like that, 9 to 5, 5 days a week. Well, I wouldn't say 9 to 5. I wish it was. I'm there all the time. Where the reservists 1 week in a month, 2 weeks out of the summer.
I got you.
So I'm there. There's a lot of active duty Marines there, but I'm there to, depending on their component, meaning if they're a reservist or active duty, I kind of look in. Interviews are going to pop up at different times. So like for reservists, whenever their obligations about to be done or their contract's about to be done, one of those two, an interview's due. If it's an active duty Marine, when their 4-year tour or 3-year, 4-year, 6-year sometimes tour is about to be completed, there's an interview done. Sometimes there's initial interviews. They just arrived to the unit. There may be an initial interview for that Marine, and I'll talk to him like, hey, welcome to the unit. Like,
okay.
Hey, just down the road we're going to talk, but hey, like just put it in your head now, and you kind of go into planting the seed, if you will. Like, hey, just kind of test the waters. Like, what do you think? Are you trying to get out after this? So then later on, when I do an actual interview, I'll revert back to that initial interview. Like, this guy said he hated the Marine Corps. Oh my God, his dog had just died. Like, hey, sorry about Hank the dog again. When you, but let's say it's been years since you lost your pet. Are you feeling better now? And like, maybe you should reenlist. Like, I mean, there's weird mind. I wouldn't say like Jedi mind tricks. It's just I feel like we as career planners or HR in general, like we know that sometimes Marines or people have like something in their mind already, like, oh, I'm getting out. And sometimes they just need to be opened up, open their eyes or mind to other avenues or other options and even options that they had no idea about. And sometimes, and I love seeing it when I talk to Marines and like I hit that click button, in their head where they're like, I mentioned something like, you know what, I didn't know I could do that. Let's go ahead and work on that package. And it's like, this is great. I'm taking care of the Marine, the institution as a whole, and ultimately everybody is going to, it's a win-win. And for me, a win. So 3 wins.
Nice. So you're basically something like, when you said you did active duty, you went to Iraq?
So when I was a reservist, actually, I deployed. So it's a IA, individual augmentee.
And what year was it? Because again, I don't know much about military. I was like, what was going on in Iraq?
So this is 08, 09. This is way after like the surge, like the big stuff. Like, I mean, at that point there was internet in our rooms almost, like, and like, there was still indirect fire happening. Like random things, middle of night, bomb or sirens going off.
Yeah.
Or we would get attached to certain ground units like grunts. And, hey, you're a radar operator with them, you support, you go out, you come back, that kind of stuff. So this is 08, 09. Again, not like 04, 03, the big crazy years where it's like, and we read, people's citations for their awards, Medal of Honors or Purple Hearts or whatever it may be. And it's like, damn, like, what did I do? I served, and I supported and I did things and I did deploy, but like you read some of these things and you're like, where they're pulling men out of rooms and carrying, and it's like, oh my God, It's like, I commend them and I honor them, appreciate them, but it's like,
is that what you wanted to see?
For myself? No, like okay. Based off of my kind of trajectory throughout the ranks and positions that I've held, is like, let's get the closest to a desk job as possible, but where I'm still serving and supporting. I'm not that like kicking the door guy. Could I be? If we pop off somewhere, I'm there.
Right.
I'm there.
Right.
That's what Marines do, right? We will be there, right? But in a current non-severe war, whatever time era where like I'm not getting deployed soon, possibly, who knows, right? But I want to be behind a desk, but I want to impact as many lives as possible. I don't want to go there and turn wrenches on a Humvee. Right. I don't want to go there and dial in a radio. I want to impact as many Marines and lives and support the units and the Marine Corps as possible. And then if that time comes where I got to kick in doors one day, I'm there.
So do you feel like you're accomplishing the goals that you had in mind? when you got into the
Oh,
Marines?
it's crazy. That's a good question. I think that, like I even talked to with Marines, it's funny. I think I'm a fair, I'm a fair career planner. I've been like, and I've been awarded career planner of the year in
Oh,
2020.
shit.
Where
Congrats. There you go.
it was huge. I mean, you're talking, meritorious promotion. I mean,
And the worst year that I think our country has seen in a long time.
you're not wrong. And that was a difficult year for many reasons, but especially how I had to get that. Not that I had to, but I wanted that obviously. But it was a very difficult time. We were getting rid of in my command we were getting rid of specific units because they were basically being divulged, if you will, into the Army. We're talking bridging companies, like when tanks went away, basically, from the Marine Corps. Tanks went away. Now it's like, Army, you got this, right?
So what? Oh, so I don't.
Yeah, yeah. And
I don't know any of this.
Yeah,
So like the Marines were like, hey, no, we got tanks. We're on control
the Marine
of
Corps.
tanks.
So essentially, the Marine Corps is like, we are going to focus on these specific things, and tanks, while we can and would be great at, we are going to basically leave that up to the Army, so we can focus on the other big areas. And we're expeditionary force. We are expeditionary force, right? Like, we go there.
So I don't mean. So let me go back to this. So what is? Because again, I'm ignorant to a lot of the military, because I don't know who does what. I mean, I get the gist, but so what is, like, if you were to say, hey, the Marines are known for, this is what we are known for out of all the, I mean, is that a even answer? I guess.
I mean, I would say, like, we are the first in. Like, we are the first ones to get
was
there.
Was that front line?
Yeah, we are the first. We are. The way they say it is, we are an expeditionary force. Like, and the best way, I guess, I think about it, I think maybe there's probably a true meaning. And forgive me, anybody in the Marines that maybe listen to this, and I'm not. It's not that I don't care. It's just that maybe I'm just I need to focus on some of the history, right? But we are the first ones in. We are going to be the first ones to kind of get the job done, or at least progress whatever is necessary to happen, where the others can start coming in. And it's not that the Army, you have the Navy SEALs, the Navy has, the Army Rangers. Like, there are some crazy, components within each branch. But the Marine Corps, I look at like for us, every Marine's a rifleman, right? So everyone can go there and shoot well and do well, right?
So you're trained as like almost like front line of defense,
right? I mean, so you're being trained to, like, let's say you're an administrator, you're in front of a computer typing away. I know that I can still take you to war. You're
because
sitting
you
next
had
to me,
be trained
and
on
we're
that.
still shooting and hooking and jabbing, taking care of each other, right?
Gotcha.
Like, that's kind of where the Marine Corps and that expeditionary, like, we are that force, air, land, and sea, right? Like, we are there wherever they need us. But back to where, so we got rid of the tanks, right? I don't know. I'm sure there's things behind, as far as, like, the Marine Corps
seem like the gas mileage isn't the greatest.
To be fair. Yeah, you're right. I mean, to be
fair, hey, those tanks get 20
talking about
miles
gas,
a gallon on the.
When you arrive at Tesla, when you say gas, I get confused. Like, were you cooking out there? What are you doing? But we got rid of them either way, and that included this bridging. And so again, I was at a unit that we got rid of all these units, but it's like, we had to go to those units. So these are reserve units in Battle Creek, Michigan, and I forget the cities anymore, but. I think there was an Illinois unit. So we had 3 or 4 units, right, that were being what's called divested. Basically, the Marine Corps saying, we're getting rid of your unit. Tennessee was another unit, and you reservists, so maybe 200 or 300 Marines at each unit. You need to find new homes for you to continue being reservist, or you can drop to the individual ready reserve, the IRR, right? And to do that in the brink of COVID was rough, because, like, masks. We're traveling. I'm stationed at this point. I'm stationed in Portland, Oregon. So I'm traveling from Portland, Oregon to all these different cities, and when like no one was flying. I remember going. Yeah, shut down. I remember going to these airports, and, like, there'd be like 10 people there. Like, it's ridiculous. But, we did it. And, like, again, like, probably the most difficult thing, I was working, like, probably every weekend. It was rough, to say the least, right? But, yeah, in the end, that's how I got meritorious gunny, got career plan of the year. I busted my ass. I sacrificed a lot of family time, personal time, which in a way, I would say I regret. I don't regret it to get where I am now to benefit myself and my family, right? But if one of the things, and I know it's a question you're going to ask later on, so I won't ruin it. But
Anal.
yeah, shotgun anus.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that if I would have told myself like work will always be there, work will never go away. Meaning like don't waste that extra hour or two to finish one thing when you know the next day it's going to be there. Go home, take some time for yourself, your family, whatever. If I would have told myself that, I probably wouldn't be here where I am today, even meritorious Gunny, right? But was it worth it? I think in some ways it was, and sometimes it wasn't. But back to your original question, which I forgot.
Me too. Welcome to the KQ show. We're circling back about 20 minutes later. It's about how it goes.
So we just did smelling salts. That was crazy.
It's like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Like, hey, well, Kyle asked a question, and then we forget he asked it, but they'll come back around in about an hour or two.
Go back to 2 minutes and 37 seconds. That's where
the best when people start. They go, "Here's a fun game I do. I start your podcast. I listen for 10 minutes, and then I jump to 2 hours in just to hear the regular go, well, hey, I'm glad to hear the, listen, I love like sometimes I'll eat like croutons in my mouth."
Yeah.
Just fast forward. But no, please, I don't know what the original question I asked.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
Oh, wow. Shit, I don't know. So what was the hard, when you, once you got in there, what was the hardest thing about accepting that this is what I'm going to do? Like, this is your career, right?
Right. Yeah. So this point,
so when you finally took that, hey, I want to do this.
Yeah, I finally got to where I wanted to be, as a career planner, which maybe that was the original question. So yeah, once I finally got to be a career planner, 2016, July of 16, first career planner position, I was in stationed in Baltimore, Maryland at 4th Combat Engineer Battalion, 4 CEB. And I finally got to really taste and experience being a career planner. I was like, I love this. Like, and I got a taste from it as a reservist, and I was a collateral duty, right? But when I finally was in it, I was like, I love this. I love the satisfaction of knowing that I'm taking care of Marines. I love, and even if they weren't staying in, like, it was weird. Like, so Marines that transition, like, you know what? I lost my dad last year, or, my parents are retiring. The business is there. They want me to run it. It's like, you know what? The best person that knows you is you, right? So like, but I want to make sure that you're taking the right steps. Mm-hmm. Have you talked about insurance? Have you talked about, we go through all the steps, and it's like, if in the end, like, I'm like, this is the best decision for the Marines to get out, then they get out.
Got you.
And so, but it's never held against me and or the Marine. Like, it's like we expect a level of attrition, right? Of Marines to leave the Marine Corps, because every year we're bringing in hundreds of Marines into boot camp, right? So like, they're going to get replaced eventually. We're not a number. I don't like to think that or say it, right? But what we are individuals that have a life outside of the Marine Corps and a responsibility to take care of certain things, such as, businesses or families or whatever it is. So like, not every Marine's going to retire. In fact, I think if I were to look it up, I'm sure it says tiny percentage of Marines that actually, or individuals in the DOD, any branch of service, that actually end up doing 20 plus years. It's probably a tiny percentage, which you would think would be larger, right? But I think that's where I just got into it, and I didn't want to stop learning. Like, I wanted to continue learning. How can I benefit the Marine Corps, the Marines, and do my job better? And I just kept on going until, like, again, I'm here. I've been fortunate enough to continue to pick up rank, pick up positions, locations. I mean, I'm located right now in Illinois, which is like near Great Lakes Naval Base. So I'm really close to home, 2.5 hours from, South Bend, Indiana, where all my family's at. Fortunate, again, to get a location like that, to be able to be on the KQ show, So like, I've been fortunate, and everything's led to where I'm at now, and I wouldn't no regrets, not even a single letter.
Nice. Not even a single letter?
Not even one. Not even one.
What's the I guess what's one thing that you wish people knew about having a career in the military that maybe was a shock to you?
I think it's that there are so many opportunities, like, out there. positions, jobs, transitioning to different jobs. I think when we think about the military, or as civilians think, it's like, oh, they're going, the Marines kicking in doors, the Army, they're running and gunning, the Navies are on ship. No, that's true in some senses. Excuse me. That's true in some senses where a shipman is on a ship, or but like there's so much more to that, and there's so much more opportunity out there to be able to take advantage of. It's again, to lead me to be here where I am today. Like, I'm not your average Marine in that I just joined the Marine Corps, went 4 years to Camp Pendleton, and then either got out then, or I've transferred to different units over the years. Every 3 years, going to a different unit. Like, I started as a reservist. I went active reserve. I was in a different job, in a different type of job, and then I transitioned to a different job while on the active reserve. I've changed trajectories within a trajectory so many times, but in the end, like, I'm still in the Marine Corps. I love it, and again, it's gotten me where I am today, right? So just that there's so many opportunities out there to take advantage of, and that's again where I love my job, is that I provide those, or I make those known to the Marines of those opportunities that are available.
Okay, not bad. So what did you? I mean, because again, I knew you, and you were like a little me.
Oh God,
which was very difficult to manage because I know myself. But I was like, this dude's high energy.
Think about a Marine like that
high
early
energy,
on.
He's high energy. He's smart. He's organized. He's dedicated. But golly, and then when I saw, when you started, there was a definitely transition and I think that's kind of the case with a lot of people. And I don't want to pigeonhole the whole about military, but sometimes there are those people where I understand the numbers because maybe they just needed some type of structure, in their life. And then that comes from, you're not going to get that a lot of times, especially like from people that I know, like a lot of people I know didn't have necessarily the right family household, and maybe they weren't set up with structure or accountability. And I think that to see them before and after their military experience really gave them almost what they needed in life, So they weren't going to be in the military forever, but it gave them, structure, confidence. It gave them like almost like a maturing aspect. And I see that a lot in you. I see it definitely. I can see like, how where even if it's as little as just the structure of, hey, you're in the military now, your uniform better look nice. The little things like that I think that people take advantage of in the regular day, just starting your day, not making your bed, something as small as that. When I see these, because I've had so many employees in that age range, and I see them come back after the military, and I'm like, look at you, looking all proper, laces are right, everything that because you
got pants on. What are you doing?
Yeah. So I mean,
it's interesting though. You mentioned that. It's like, there's a level of, and I'm going through it. So just to kind of go into, like, my daughter, she's 17, so she'll be 18 in December.
Wow.
So I mean, she's a senior.
Congrats.
In high school. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy. But she's in a pinnacle time, and I go back to, like, during her life, or her time in her life, I remember where I was, and this isn't the same for everybody, right? But I remember where I was, and she's smart. She's wicked smart, but there's a level of maturity and or drive, something there that I know I wouldn't say lacking, but she needs that, like, jump start, right? And I know, like, once she hits it, she's going to be just so well-rounded and just great, right? And she's also great now, right? But she'll be that much better, I guess. And I'm like, and I'm like, there's no way in hell I'd let her join the Marines. Nothing against the Marine Corps. But just, I know that I know her well enough to know, like, that's not the route for her. But like the Air Force, Navy, there's some great, the branches, and I know that quick kind of instant requirement that you have to do to be able to to mature is going to be great for her. So I'm like, now I've been kind of talking to her. I'm like, let's go, maybe we should go talk to a recruiter, like, let's just go sit down. Let's see what they have to say, right? Like, it's not going to hurt, right? It's weird because it's like, I never would have thought about that with any of my kids. I'm like, no, I'm not going to let my kids do the military. I know they're going to be better than that. Not that we're bad, I mean, I love what I've done. I'm working on my master's degree right now. Like, it's great.
Congrats. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's well taken care of as far as, money-wise, right? For the military, it's taking care of me, right? But if she could be able to join the military, gain that level of confidence, maturity instantly, that's That's huge. But you're right. I mean, like I see it all the time, and like, you walk around, even nieces, nephews, they do that kind of, and it's like, man, I wonder if they would be good in the military. Some yes, some no. But I'm like, what's gonna in their life hit that jump of maturity? College? Is it a job? For me, it was military. So it's different for everybody.
So I mean, one question again. If you don't want to get into it, you don't have to. But so active duty. I mean, when you say active duty, I mean, were there times where you were in a position you're like, holy shit, at 18, I didn't think I'd be out here holding a, machine gun and having to go, was there a spot, like what was the scariest moment if you can get into it, or something that just shocked you where you're like, fuck, this is happening. This is what I'm doing.
God, it's crazy.
And I know everybody's overseas experience is way different depending on where you're at,
Right. And I've always been one, I mean, I know in your podcast, and I appreciate what you go through as far as speaking to mental health and how it impacts people differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's huge. I mean, mental health in America alone is huge, world, right? But in the military, obviously, it's a pretty big impact, and it's a huge challenge. So over the years, especially before COVID, I was pretty strong when it came down to my mental ability, strength, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I deployed to Iraq, there were some rough times, hearing. It was the hearing of things and then seeing of things. I think when you see something going on or happening, your adrenaline is just pumping. But when you're in like the COC or like in your shop, listen to radios and you hear stuff popping off, and they're asking for medevacs or whatever it is, and you're just like, your adrenaline's not going already, and it hits you differently, right? It impacts you differently.
Mm-hmm.
Those were pretty significant in my career. I remember vividly. There was a Marine that was in the COC. He was also in the COC. Is basically we're like the general, all the people, without getting in depth of things.
What does it stand for?
They'll be there to get word, understanding. Radio operators will be everything. Everything's there, kind of like the main building, like the admin building of the.
What was the COC? Is it because I keep thinking of Chamber of Commerce?
Every
time you say COC, I'm like,
I think of chain of command. Like when.
Oh, is that what it means?
Well, there's 1,000 acronyms in the Marine Corps. Literally, my job as a career planner, in the back of our publication, there's a list of acronyms and there's definitions, because there's so many that you're like, I don't know. Like, what does PLC stand for? Let me go through. Oh, it means 7 things. Well, which one do you mean? I don't know what everything means. But anyways, COC, right? And there was a Marine. His girlfriend cheated on him or broke up with him.
I hate seeing that.
He's overseas. We're in Iraq, right? 0809.
We used to always share the picture when they sent it to us on Facebook. Hey, share this bitch. She cheated. So we used to, I'd be part of it. Share it to everybody.
Yeah, Jody. Yep.
Yeah,
the thing that they don't just understand, and I'm not saying like stay with a man just because they're overseas or whatever, but like the impact, the level of impact that it has on that Marine, that unit, and ultimately could be that war. They don't even understand, right? And I'm not saying, again, like, it's kind of like
fighting crime in another country,
and I couldn't hold it. I needed this guy, right? Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, but
they broke up or whatever happened. He cheated on her. I think maybe they were actually, now that I think about it, recently married. I think like young, 18, 19, probably shouldn't have gotten married, right? But they did. So we're in our cans, as we call them. They're small. They're probably like, I don't know, square feetage, but it's like a seventh of this room. It's small. But you had 2 Marines, 2 racks. That's barely enough room to really move around.
2 separate beds or bunks?
2 separate beds.
Okay, got you.
And then like maybe a
like
couple of small desks
almost.
or whatever. Yeah, but tiny. And then there wasn't even a head or a bathroom, right? You had to go walk to it in the sand. It was horrible. So you take a shower, you come back, and you're full of sand already, right? But anyway, so we were in the cans late at night. I think it was if I want to say it was around Christmas time, and this guy, we got a knock at the door, and we're like, it's late at night. Why is anybody coming around? Is something going down? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And we open up, and it was dark. It was dark around everything, right? Because it was late at night. They don't have lights everywhere, obviously, because we're on a military base, right, in Iraq. And we just heard like a weird sound, like a gurgling, and we're like, "What the hell's going on?" And then we kind of like, finally our eyes adjust to the outside, right, and we're like looking outside, and like oh my God, this guy's got to have his face fall or is falling off.
What?
So he tried to commit suicide. So he had the gun.
Oh man!
And I don't know how dark the KQ show can get or need to get. So cut this out, obviously.
Yeah,
if you need
we'll
to,
leave
but,
it. Hey, listen, you got to hear about it, but damn.
But yeah, he tried to commit suicide, and clearly to the point where he regretted it, because he was, he survived the shot and went for help, right? And a couple of the Marines ended up taking him and taking him to medical, and sadly I didn't keep up with what happened with him, down the road. I know he survived, and I hope, God willing, he brought back his life, from where it was. But that was probably like the craziest thing that you experience when you're not adrenaline rushed.
Right.
When you experience adrenaline rush, you're like, oh, we're getting shot at. This is normal. But that out of nowhere, middle of the night, that hits you harder. It's just different, right? Again, maybe someone else getting shot at, but experiencing what I saw with that kid would be different. Would be the inverse, right?
There's nothing you can do as a professionally trained military person to stop that. So I mean,
you do your best to kind of identify mental health issues and like, hey, I heard about you and your girl, like, hey, just if you never need to talk, whatever. And we, everything was done right, but at some level, there's only so much you can do to prevent that kind of stuff, unfortunately.
Damn. Shit.
But I mean, back to your point, like the craziest thing, experience, whatever, while being in. While in, but being stationed here in Illinois, rather, just, I think it was last year. Was it last year? This is crazy how this time's been just zoomed by. But I was at the Highland Park 4th of July parade, and a gunman started just shooting at the crowd. And it was like a block away from me and my family. We were sitting there on our chairs just watching the parade. And I'll tell you, that was one of the first times where I ever just kind of froze in an instant. You start hearing shots down the street a block away, and then you're like, it's 4th of July, right? Is that fireworks? What's going on? What's that noise? And I just remember turning to my wife like with that like, and because I got in the street kind of like, what's going on down there? That sounds in my head. I knew what it was, but I'm like, how? Why? What's going on? If my family wasn't there, I'm running, not away. I'm going there. Like, I'm going to save people. I'm going to do something. I'm going to find the person.
Are you armed at all times?
No.
Okay.
Even been in Illinois, have you? You can't do it. You can't do any of that stuff there.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're in a gang, don't they just have mutual combat now in Illinois? Like on the south side, the cops are like, we're not going there. They'll kill each other.
Yeah.
They literally called mutual combat one night that there was just gangs shooting at each other.
Take care of yourselves, right? God. No, Chicago. Yeah, I mean, aside from like pocket knives and things like that, like, yeah, you're not getting away with concealed carry.
Even a military person, you can't. So is there?
There's not like a blanket.
Is there no?
Yeah, there's
carry?
not like we get no benefit or change from like local, state, whatever laws when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like you just adhere to the local, state laws, whatever. But I remember hearing it and like it kind of in my head. I knew what it was. Looked at my wife, and my wife kind of triggered me, going, "Those are gunshots." And I just remember saying, "Run!" And I have at that point 3-year-old in my arms. 17-year-old running. My daughter or my wife is holding my son who's 5, and we're all just running to the car, which luckily we were like 200 feet away from. Had we not been, like, who knows what? Again, what hindsight? Who knows what could happen? But running and driving away, and obviously at this point again, adrenaline, right?
Yeah.
But getting back home and calling my sergeant major saying, "Hey, like." Actually, no, I didn't call him first, which I probably should have. Sorry, Sergeant Major Connor. I called my dad first, and I said, "Dad, I don't know if I'm able to get this out." I said, "We just were at the parade, and there was an active shooter, and they shot at near us, but we're all safe. I just wanted to let you know first, in case you started hearing stuff.
Right.
Like we're safe. Like we're shook up, obviously, and like that was like the." Again, it's not even military.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, it shows you like kind of how things impact you differently. I've saw and seen a lot of weird, crazy, horrible shit in my 17 years, right? But like that not for anything other than my family and
Yeah.
my kids running,
Because there's no other Marines around you. It's you and your family, and apparently not.
And we're running back to the car, and
you're just running. And
what am I going to do? And even if I had a gun, what am I going to do? Like the dude's perched up on a roof.
Is that what happened?
With an
I'm not familiar
with
with this. I'm not familiar with this situation. What did happen?
Yeah, so he was perched up. Parade was going downtown, small downtown Highland Park. He was perched up on a building. What's that?
I know the area. I didn't know. I know he's perched. I thought it was. I didn't.
Yeah, so he's perched up. He planned this.
Sniping.
He's planned this. He planned this. This mother. Let me tell you a story.
Hey, let me grab another beer because I'm excited about this one.
This guy.
All right. So yeah. So talk to me. So tell me about what the whole sitch was with this cat.
So Robert Crimo Crimo Jr. He was the shooter. And I had to look up his name because I couldn't remember his name, but he was dressed as a woman on top of a building downtown Highland Park as the parade was going through. And this is probably first few minutes of the parade finally hitting that area. We were at probably the beginning, right, area. And they passed us, like very few had gone, like maybe the high school band, had gone by or whatever. And it's crazy. Like my daughter was dating one of the band members. So like when that band was like basically just passing where the shooting was happening, that's where they were. And so my daughter was feeling that fucking like, what the hell's going on? Is he okay? Type of stuff, or anybody, right? But yeah, he sees perched on top, and he had an AR-15 or something with a few mags, and I think in the end I can't remember how many shots went off of it. But what sounded like 100 was probably like 10, 15 or whatever. But I think there was five casualties.
Damn! So you did end up killing people.
Oh yeah, 5 to 7. I kind of stopped. I stopped looking at it.
Yeah.
And it's not publicized like many other shootings, which I appreciate. Like I don't want to sit there and talk about or hear about it, not only for my own, but like let's not like, let's talk about Robert some more, people, and like encourage others that like, hey, you're going to be a big spotlight. I'm not on that level, right? But it's funny. Well, it's not funny. It's interesting. I guess I should rephrase that. My wife, she works downtown Highland Park with an architect and I guess a firm. I don't know what to call it, a business. And she's like the property manager for all the site, the buildings that they do, or for most of them. But her boss, I can't remember his name, and they actually met one of the kids that were shot. The kid was shot and paralyzed. And I think the mom and dad were both shot. I think they survived, but still like shot, right? But he's paralyzed, and like just like a couple days, and I'm like, that is like that takes me back again. Where on that day I'm running there with my 3-year-old daughter, and the only thing I cared about was my kids' lives.
Well, yeah, that's
like,
your job as a dad.
Running,
though,
yeah,
right?
It's crazy. Like you think that fight or flight, the whole, what's most important to you, what's flashing in front of your eyes. Like I was just like, they will live. They will survive. I will make sure, right? But like the thought of, right, again, my son like being paralyzed, and me getting shot, or me and my wife getting shot, in conjunction, like it's just horrible. But like such a strong family that she was telling me about this, the kid and the family, but
That's
the
awesome,
mom and dad just super there, supportive, as you should as a parent. But like they were just so loving and caring for that kid. Not, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's crazy.
But yeah, just crazy experience.
Well, I'm glad you got out of it alive, and I mean, unscathed, I guess, because that type of stuff. It's crazy to think that type of stuff can just happen, just anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't go as far as say unscathed. I mean, as we talked, and you even mentioned on these podcasts, man, like mental health is like a thing, and like again, I mentioned like I think what kind of segued into part of this was like I've been good. I've been really strong. Mentally, physically throughout my career until I, got physically injured, and then here mentally injured in a way where.
What'd you get physically injured?
We were doing some workouts. I ended up getting a herniated disc in my spine, so I had like a full on spinal surgery
Damn,
in my cervical spine. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this.
Damn. Holy shit, that's real. How did it happen?
So we were doing burpees. Well, we were doing a bunch of workouts, but we were doing burpees, and all of a sudden, like, oh my God, my right pec kind of feels tight. Then like later that day, oh my God, my armpit. And then it slowly progressed. My arm is like hurting. And then to the point where like I had to put my arm in a weird position behind my back just to be able to drive home, go home, sleep right. That like, after MRIs and everything, they're like, oh yeah, you got a herniated disc pushing against a nerve that's radiating down your arm, or whatever, right? But the mental piece of that day stuck with me and has still stuck with me. I mean, just the other day, I told you I had to go to the ER. I was having some chest pain. It ended up being just acid reflux. But
welcome to getting older, man.
Yeah, right. You're not.
I'll
kidding.
prep you for the next 4 things you're gonna do.
Oh my God, how old are you now?
40. Oh, you say 54?
I know.
Did you think I was 54?
Yeah, no, I knew you were 40.
You think I was 20 years older
I know.
than
When
you?
did you do Sites' thing? I mean, I remember you were like 48. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I don't even remember. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm 36, but I feel like I'm 50. You know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like as I'm there talking to the doctor, and like it just, he goes, "Well, have you had any trauma?" And I'm just like, and I was like, "Oh shit, let me tell." I go, and I said like, "Well, here's the thing," and like I started like getting emotional, like stopping for a couple seconds, kind of like, all right, keep it together, right? But but yeah, so like again, this happened on, I think it was on a weekend, or either way, I was off work. So the first day back at work after the 4th of July event where the shooter happened in Highland Park. I'm in work, and the first day of work, typically of that week, we have a meeting, kind of a staff sync to kind of go over everything. Let's go over what, the battle rhythm of the week, right?
Yeah, I got you.
And I'm in there, and all I could think about was that day and that event. And I felt this rush of, I got to get the fuck out of here. So I made it through but I went straight to my boss, who was now Major Moom. I'm like, sir, like I got to take some leave. I gotta take care of myself. Like,
was it a panic attack you're feeling?
Yeah, so it ended up being like, panicky-ish feeling, right? And I go back to work shortly after. I take a few days of leave. I'm like, I just need to take the rest of the week off. Just kind of like, I just need to get back, get my mind right. Like this is crazy. Like I never experienced that kind of level of panicky, anxiety, whatever, right? And then I'm sitting there. My office is I got 5 big windows in my office. So I'm in office by myself. It's great. I love working alone in that sense. Like it's quiet, you can get work done. But like because there's not anything going in my office, it's quiet, right? And right outside my windows is a child development center, which is basically like a daycare for military, and just kids running and screaming. And I'm just like, it just took me back, man.
Damn.
We're like, I'm sitting there just doing my work, mind my own business. I'm okay. And all of a sudden, bam! Like it hits me, like I gotta get out of here. I get the fuck out of here. Like it just hit me where I'm like, something's wrong. So yeah, I mean, I talked to my primary care provider. I'm like, look, something's going on. Like here's, I always went through this traumatic event. You already know about this. I need to talk to somebody. And I made a point with mental health. We talked about it, and like that's all I needed is just to talk. And I've talked about it. It's one thing to talk about with family, friends, kind of have those. Like, oh, so glad you're all right, whatever. It was like, but someone like, well, how did that make you feel? Someone to go kind of in depth and ask those questions, like those to kind of me to look deep inside, and like, you know what? Never thought about it that way, but but yeah, that was so. That
takes a lot of balls, honestly. Like for a fucking Marine of 17 years to say, hey, I need to go. Because I mean, look, if you broke your leg, you're going to go to a doctor,
right?
But if your brain's broken, nobody ever fucking goes to a doctor, which is so much more important. So
it's that stigma,
I mean, that's huge, man. I mean, congrats on being able to do that.
Thank you.
Especially, I mean, I'm just saying, like when you think of like the Marines, you don't think Marines are hardcore. They don't need anything. They're just strong. They're going to do whatever. But the flip point of that is, everybody has mental health issues.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter age, how long you've been in. Because again, like 17 years, I should be harder, stronger. I've been through so much, seen so much, been deployed. But it took that one event, not even in the Marines, not even serving, not even in a war. Just in medium income's like $300K in Highland Park. It's a tiny little town. Never would expect it. Never would have thought it. We go there, we're safe, right? No, that's where my mental break happened. It was crazy.
And so, what did you? I mean, after therapy, I mean, what happened? I mean, did you? I mean, did they?
Oh, lots of cocaine. I mean, no, zero drugs. Zero drugs. It was really in the end. It was
like I think you might not have been.
Yeah, maybe cut that part out.
You might not have gone to a therapist.
We get drug tested often. By the way,
he said, "Look, he drove an El Camino. He popped the front trunk, and we
on the line. But no, it was really just talking about it and not keeping things in. Which I'm sure you've heard him said. Like don't bottle it up, right? You got to sometimes you got to talk about it. but talk about it with the right people, and not that your family or friends, your wife, are not the right people. Those are right people, and you should be talking
professionally trained,
but they're not there to ask you the questions, or to send that conversation the way to help you not have a breaking point in a sense, but like a relief point. And like when I hit that, it was like I'm okay. My kids are okay. Because I was having nightmares, man. Like nightmares,
that's crazy.
day thoughts in meetings where like it was quiet, and all I'm thinking about is my kid getting shot. My kid getting shot in my arms, like repeatedly. The worst case scenarios, like the what ifs. But it was really just how can you avoid those? How can you make sure your thoughts are not of what could have happened, but not only what happened, but how things are okay. And once I hit that and was right with myself, and like, I saved my kids, in a way, right? Right.
Yeah.
You know what? We're all safe. I was like, okay, I'm at peace.
Well, that's good, man. No, I mean, that's huge to hear. I mean, I think a lot of people need to hear that, that somebody that has been a 17-year, basically, I mean, for lack of a better term, I mean, military veteran for 17 damn years and says, hey, I need to go seek out help. I think that's huge. I think a lot of people aren't, too proud to ask for help or to seek it out. But
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have Marines come to my office again. I'm like a counselor, HR, whatever, and they come by like, "Hey, can I close the door?" It's like, "Oh, here we go." Sure. And I never know what route this is gonna go. It could be like, "Man, screw Gunny, so and so. He hurt my." It's like, "Okay, brother, like like it's gonna be okay. Tough it up, right?" Or they're like, "I'm thinking about killing myself."
Damn.
Or it's, "Hey, like I need help," or I. This and that, and it's like, and I always like, you need to take care of yourself. And I'll use my personal experience, like, hey, like this happened to me. I'm there. I've been there. Maybe not to hurt myself, but like where like I needed to seek help, and like you have to do it. Like the only one that's going to take care of you the best is yourself. Do it. Don't delay it. Don't be too proud. Don't be whatever. Like you're here telling me this. I'm not trained for this. I wish I was. I wish I could be there and like, walk them through the healing, whatever, but I'm not, and I can't be, and because and having been through situations and whatever over the years, became more and more empathetic to where like I could be watching a movie now, and it's like, oh my god, that guy saved that. It's like, oh my god, I'll get it, like like internally, I gotta catch myself. It's like, don't cry, Chris. It's Lion King. Calm the fuck down, like.
Can't be watching those dogs.
Can't be watching those dogs. Yeah.
The dog, the military guy comes home with his shaved head, and the dog doesn't recognize him.
Then
smells him, and he goes crazy. I'm just bawling my eyes out.
Oh my god! You're watching Turner and Hooch. Why?
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it, But I can. But I'm there to help. Say like, don't delay it. Go get help. Like I'll take you. I'll take you. Then they, whether they do or not, I know most of them do. I know, and they're all doing better and great, or at least they're working through their troubles and situations, but I tell them like don't delay it. You'll get through it. I've been through it, and I'll tell them, I go, without and I never disclose or HIPAA, whatever, different things to like protect other people, right? I'm like,
right,
and I have a level of confidentiality with even in my own job, right? I'm just like, look, there's a lot more people here than you think that are getting help right now for themselves and their mental health. Like, don't think you're the only one out there. You're not. Like, I'm not. I'm right there with you. So go get the help. And I think that kind of opens up where they're like, you know what? I'm not in it alone. I don't have to be in it alone. So let me go get help. And they end up doing it. It's great. I love seeing Marines get the help that they need, especially in that sense, right?
Well, that's good, man. Well, shit. I can't really say I'm much happier about that than that. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, moment just to be able to say, hey, at least it's teaching somebody, go get the help you need. I think that's kind of true with a lot of people, especially with men. Men are afraid to, admit when, because they're obviously just, stubborn as shit and too strong. Hey, I got a family to, to provide for. I don't have time to go talk to a therapist or anything else. And I think even The Sopranos was the first one to come out as a show.
Yeah.
And have that stigma just kind of demolished. Like, well, this guy's doing it. But no, I mean, I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad that you're able to, to speak to that, to even say to anybody that, hey, even if you're a fucking, on-site military, active duty, sometimes you got to talk to somebody.
And it's more than a stigma for them. There's like, we're in our blood, not just Marines, but military, like, suck it up. You'll get through it. You've seen worse. You'll do worse. No, like, that's not, in the younger generation especially, that's not the case. Like,
Yeah.
that's
And I think nowadays, like I always tell people, like, I mean, if you broke your leg, you'd go to a doctor to get it fixed.
Yeah.
But when your brain's broken, nobody goes, and it's one of those things, especially like with like the BetterHelp, you can just call the number, I mean, there's free options everywhere. And I think, the more, especially with, and I'm not saying that females obviously don't have that problem. I'm a dude.
Yeah.
So, all I know is that it's so hard for, a dude to lower that pride and say, hey.
Yeah. And maybe women are just stronger than men to go get that help. Yeah. Maybe in a way. Like they have that strength to be like, you know what, I need to go get help. Maybe that's what it is. We're strong, man. I love my wife. I love her. But I like to be like, oh, I'm strong. But like, dude, she is strong. She can get through stuff. Like just last night, like talking about Adeline, she's in there laying in her bed with her. She's, getting up every so often, throwing up in a bowl, like rubbing her back. And she gets up before I do after a long night. And I was getting up, like worried about what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
She's getting up, taking care of her in the morning, going to pick up, groceries. I'm like, what superpower do you have? Like it's crazy.
I mean, they are able to force a baby out of their body that, because I'm a bitch when it comes to being sick. Like, I mean, ain't nothing bad
I
with it.
feel like I could give birth no problem.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I'd be the guy going, cut me open and get it out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd be the one causing a scene on the floor, but like, we don't know.
Give me the epidural now, like with a
we
deep
just went in there and yanked out.
Yeah.
There's like 6 babies in there, but
Yeah.
well, shit, man. Hey, so making it a fun transition. I do want to talk about, obviously, you started at Best Buy. We're excited to see what you've done with your career, but let's talk a little bit about some of the Best Buy stories that we were a part of. I remember we kind of vaguely talked about it, the Monster training.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. Like I mentioned, like you said one word and I was like, oh yeah. Go on.
There's so much about the time that at Best Buy that I totally forgot about.
Would you agree though, like some great times, like in times that you're like, I miss that time, but like I wouldn't want to go back. But like I kind of miss like the people, the story.
Yeah.
Like that was some cool good times. It brought a lot of us together, and most of us still talk to each other. It's crazy. Like
I mean, it was the weirdest because I think we went there for like the Monster training, where our home theater department had been number one in Monster attachment, all the, everything, and I remember we had got there and we had started playing pool, and I remember we got a bunch of drinks. It was expensive as shit, wherever the hell we were. And then, like, randomly, it was some dude just randomly, and we talked about earlier, just walked across our pool table, like, just got up and just walked across it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know what was going on. I was like...
You weren't happy. And none of us were, but, like, you were specifically like, I'm going to make an example of this guy.
I was like, all right, well, when we fight, all right. So I just went to the bar. Hey, buddy Mark there, walk across, he's going to pick up our tab. We appreciate it. We got to get out of here. We just walked out, all of us. I go, just go. You guys like, hey, how much was the bill? Just go. We need to go.
God.
So it was like 7 of us all on that motherfucker's tab.
You're so much money. And it reminds me of the Dumb and Dumber part where he's like, hey, right there.
What happened? Did the guy get away scot-free? No. He got him out of the road and slit his throat. Yeah. So I was like, we need to go.
Well, luckily we were staying in a hotel there.
Oh, yeah.
And remember the hotel though, right? You remember the hotel? Like at this point, we had already drank, so I think we were at the post game in one of the rooms, and I think someone said it like, "I'm hungry," like, and it happened. At that point, it was like, "Let's go find some food," and I don't know if it was like too late, nothing was open, but like we found food.
It was 2 a.m.
We found food down at the hotel,
the kitchen,
but the kitchen was closed.
Yeah.
The kitchen was closed. But guess what was in the kitchen? Food. And we found it, and it was just a trays, which we don't even know where they were going. Like maybe they were for us the next day.
Probably.
I don't know.
It could have been.
Either way, we got them. Trays of cheesecake, just spreads.
Like
it was like,
and
we how did we get out? How did we get that shit up back into our room?
We ran up the steps. I remember
Yeah.
I remember like several of us were carrying trays.
So
full
it was
of
me.
cheesecake.
It was me, you, Dave Peck. Who else?
The guy from home theater with us. The kid who watched smoke all the time.
You? No.
No, he was worse than me. He was. I think I might have. Maybe regardless, but he was. I don't even remember his name, dude. But he was in home theater. He was the guy that was like he wanted to fight the dude. I was like, no, let's not do that. I don't remember what his name was.
Well, whoever that other
Anyway,
guy.
I think Kenny Stevenson was there too.
Kenny
Because
Stevenson.
Kenny's the one who they knocked on his door. Because somebody else at that hotel threw all the chairs in the
Well,
pool.
our problem was after we ate all the food, we put the dishes out in the lot, like in the hallway, like it was like it was room service, but it was like, those just stolen cheesecakes. We found them. Oh, those weren't ours. Those weren't ours. I don't know where those came from. Like,
When, at the end of the night, they came knocking on my door, looking for, because they thought that we were the ones that knocked off. Well, they thought that we had stolen some cheesecake, and then that we knocked all the chairs into the, like, somebody took everything that was by the pool and just tossed it.
Oh my God, yes.
And then I just didn't answer the fucking door.
Yeah,
That's what you
yeah.
do. It's a hotel. I looked through.
Do you lock the little thing?
I looked. I go security. I'm like, not a bit. Went right back to bed. And the next morning, they're like, God, what? Was there anything happening? I don't know what you're talking about.
I was fast asleep.
Somebody knocked on my door, and I was asleep.
I was deep asleep. What are you talking about? Gurgle, burp, cheesecake smell. Like
metal trays of cheesecake. I don't know. Nowadays, you'd be like, so this isn't you then? Just video?
Yeah, I know. Nowadays,
I remember we were in somebody's room. We had.
It was just it was like a buffet.
Yeah. It was just on tables. We're just on.
I remember being like the sober one of the bunch of all of us, and looking at Dave Peck sitting on like the couch. Everyone was either passing out or something, and Dave Peck sitting there finishing off like the remains of the cheesecake with just that drunken like.
So
like
satisfying.
He's almost like, why am I doing this to myself anymore?
I don't want to do this. I regret this.
It was done.
It was
God, Dave Peck, good times.
Man.
Good guy.
So what was your weirdest customer experience ever at Best Buy?
Oh man. I think I've had quite a few, some Notre Dame players and or coaches. Yeah, but you've already went in depth with like Weiss and all them. I don't want to go in depth, but so outside of that,
you were an installer during that time, weren't you?
I was in home theater during that time.
I didn't remember because I remember Chris every day was soldering your brother. I was like, I can't, guys. What I tell him, I tell you guys. So when you go out
but
there,
they come back like, what did you do? What are these notes or where are the notes? Like,
I'm not paying extra money for that. Then don't. And his wife.
You make how much money? And she was the sweetest lady.
She ran Hannah's house. She was so nice.
I'm like, I know. And he was probably great too to nice people or to other people.
I'm like, I know that he was a piece of shit. I'm like, I know that you're not fucking that big pile of shit. So why are you still with him? Like, what is going on here?
I think the weirdest one was like I was on Geek Squad front. What do you call it? Excuse me.
Like a front tech.
Let me restart that one.
Front
precinct.
Front precinct. There.
So I was a front precinct. So if you remember when I got hired on as Geek Squad, they're like, "You're gonna bring in a Geek Squad." All they wanted me to do is sell the services because I sold the crap out of everything.
Yeah,
like I was
the network
all day long. So they put me a network or GSP, whatever, like the black tie protection, whatever they call it, man.
Yep.
Like I was back there slinging and then finally I'm like, you know what? I want to work on some computers, whatever. So I'm in the front precinct, and I'm up there working on things, and I can't remember the subject or why this lady was being a bitch, but she came up and she said something, and like I had just gotten done talking to one of the customer service lady workers. I can't remember her name. She's a pretty girl, whatever. Mm-hmm. We weren't flirting or anything, but she was like the thing that topped me off. She said something like, well, you'd get more done if you weren't flirting with something like that. And I was like, ma'am, excuse me. And I just went off I remember, I think it was like, God, who was it? GM or one of the managers there. JC.
Yep.
I almost, yeah. So anyway, JC, like, or someone was like right there. I was like, Jace, you shouldn't watch how we're talking. I'm like, oh, I'm like, to be honest, like she was being disrespectful. Like I wasn't trying to be disrespectful back. I was just trying to defend myself in a way that was professional, whatever, But like, I just remember going off on this lady being like defending myself, and I generally wasn't like flirting or anything. So I was pissed, right? That was probably one of the weirdest, more recent interactions. I'm sure there were some in the front lanes where, like, just people were assholes to people at the front lanes, and you're just like, you just gotta suck it up, right?
Especially when you're trying to sell magazines. Yeah. I was like, nobody wants to buy these.
No, but like that's the weirdest for customers. Now, when we're talking about as an installer, that's a whole nother story. So there was a house as an installer that every installer knows about if you're around this area. and it was this old guy. He had been in the Navy. You'd go in, when you walked in his house, he had like these boards set up, like plywood boards with like little military things going on, like tanks set up. He hand painted, whatever you would call it. I don't know, miniatures, right? And it was really cool. And then you move a little bit further into the house, and there were stacks of VHSs, like literally up to the ceiling, almost like along the walls, like, and it's all porn, all of it porn. And like, so I was there to fix like a computer issue or a network issue, and I was like, oh my God, and it smelled. He was large, like, so everything was dirty and just
probably smelled like old semen, I would assume.
Well, it was semen because there was you look in the corner. There's like, oh, there's a sock over there. I know what that's used for. Oh, there's a blanket here. I
that
wouldn't
sock
touch that.
is nailed
and
to
like,
the wall.
And like he goes, oh, you have a seat here. It's like, I'm good. I'll stand. Like
I'd rather stay away from anything.
Yeah. So like, and it's funny because like you think you're the only in-home installer or Geek Squad anything to ever be in there, but then you'll discuss like vaguely. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, Mr. Whatever's place. And with one of the other agents, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I've been there before. And it's like, everyone knows about it, right? So, like, that was probably the weirdest situation I've ever been in, as far as, like, with a client where I'm like, get me the hell out of here. He tipped well, though.
Yeah. I mean, there was only a couple times I ever, like, the funnest when I was, because remember they made me the Geek Squad manager for some fucking reason.
Yeah,
everybody on the
you
Geek
could
Squad
sell the shit
like,
out of anything. So
yeah, but they were like C+ certified, and they knew they. I was like, they are way more qualified than me. So I was like,
you could teach the C+, but you can't teach sales, buddy.
Right. So I'm up there. So we used to have this thing we used to call the B spec sheet.
Oh yeah,
BS spec sheet.
Yeah.
And every time, like if Adam wasn't there, it would have to be me that goes up there. Yeah, when Z wasn't there, it'd have to be me as a manager. So I go up there, and I'd be like, guys, what am I going to tell this? It started before the B spec sheet. I go, guys. When they ask for manager, you guys are saying you come here. I don't know anything that you guys know. So what he goes, just read off the same stuff we said. I go, well, give me like a sheet or something. I go, you know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to add in some words. I would just throw in the most random aerial transistor tube.
Nice.
What I say the
flux capacitor.
That started to catch on. So did the Pennis filter. The Pennis filter I'd get in there. The cementolator.
Good.
So many things on the B spec sheet. So I go up there. I'd look at a couple. I'd go, okay. Aerial directed fan, ceramic diode chamber. Cool. I'm going up there. Yeah. So I'd be like, listen. They've already pre-warned me that both your ceramic diode chambers has no frequency cross through.
They don't know.
Yep, because they had no idea. So that I would just say, I would literally just look at the B spec sheet, be like, listen, and I would even say the word B spec. Listen, I just
Let me look at the B spec sheet.
I just reference our B spec sheet, and sure enough, this has dual aerial transistor cross modulation, and I can't. Let's
clear something. We never took advantage of people unless they were elderly.
Nope.
But we would they needed help. Clearly they're there for a reason.
All they wanted to do is, why am I getting charged $130? I'd get up there and I'd be like, just
are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do this yourself?
Because trust me, for the first 3 months, I went up there and I go, hi, I'm the manager. I don't know what you're having fixed, but my guy right here who spent a lot of years
diagnostic. Yeah.
This is what the screen says. So then I got tired of that. So I go, fine, I'll just go up there and pretend like I'm smart.
Yeah.
Fucking make it up.
It's not hard. And to be fair, like, it didn't matter if you were smart or dumb, as long as you could explain that things were going to get fixed in a way that, like, they're like, oh, I couldn't do that myself. Then done deal.
Obviously.
It was great. My favorite thing when people would show up to get their computers worked on, and all they would show up with is the monitor. And these are like the old CRT, whatever tube, whatever
Putting
garbage,
it all
right?
in there?
They're like, well, my computer won't turn on. It's like, well, we need the computer, sir. Like,
did you know there was another part of this, or?
And they're like, oh well, I'm gonna go grab that. It's like, I love that one. That was my. Those are easy, Yeah. We'll see you come back, Like,
Oh, damn, man. I mean, it was just tough not to. Because sometimes you have to have fun. And I remember
having fun while being the best, maybe.
Bingo. And I remember, like, we play different games. The best was trying to sneak in dirty words. Certain words you can't say, the P word.
Oh, the words of the day that we did. I remember you would establish a word.
I'd be like, all right.
See how many times you could use this word in the.
Listen, say ham salad. Try to get a ham salad at least once. And then every time they'd walk by, listen, hey, when I go somewhere, I know what I want. I want a ham
Yeah.
salad, and that's why I want that Pioneer plan.
Yeah,
Like they walk
Pioneer
right
plan.
by me, and I'd hear him saying hams. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
Good
You wouldn't even be
move.
around and we'd still do it, dude.
Good
like your
move.
influence there. You know what's funny about that? Glad you brought that up. I actually started that one of my units where like, we would use words during meetings to the CO. So we'd sit there with the CO. I won't even say units or people at this point. I'm gonna be in trouble. And we would actually like, okay, the word of the day, and there'd be military-esque words, right?
Yeah.
It'd be like bridge the gap. That'd be the word or like the phrase, right?
Mhm.
So like you would hear like a master of guns or a first lieutenant, second captain. We would establish that before the CO. It would even enter the room, and then you would start hearing it. And like by the end of the day, and we'd have one Marine tally marking who would say it the most. So imagine like I have a few things to brief, like retention's at this level, we need this level, whatever, right? But I would use bridge the gap. We need to bridge the gap and be able, and like you would hear like bridge the gap be said 3 or 4 times, and then we would all win. That's whoever won that got the most bridge the gaps or whatever word is would win. But whoever got the CO, or if we all got the CO to say the same phrase or word, then you would definitely win. And we would all like. He would say it, and we would all just look around.
Yeah!
And he's like looking at like, why are they looking at each other that way? It's
like The Office when the DVD thing hits the corner.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys
Exactly.
leave
We
the
didn't
meeting.
like arms up,
No,
walk out of the room, but like we were all like, oh my god, he said it. Like looking around at each
You
other.
just look at each other going,
Yep. Yeah. Oh man, we would waste it if we said
Oh,
Where's the
shit.
gap? Yeah.
all right.
I didn't notice
Mr.
you had a
Searow.
think pad with
Do I?
with the little ball mouse.
Oh yeah. Well, no. Yeah. So I got that.
You don't use that ball mouse, right? It's like a little clitoris that you
I don't
gotta
even
touch.
use the track. I can't. I'm not a trackpad guy. I'm a mouse guy.
Yeah, I got you. But like,
you know-
but still, would you use the trackpad or the
Never.
little clit thing?
I would use the
And
trackpad.
you can
before
cut all
the
this out, but that's what I always
ball.
think of it like.
Yeah,
why?
no, I hate the ball in the middle.
What
no.
is that?
That reminds me of fucking Blackberries. When I started sprint, I had to
yes.
change everybody's Blackberry ball. Oh, I can't scroll anymore. I had to pop it out with this little special.
Oh, like a
tool.
mouse ball? Was it the same kind of
Yeah,
thing?
it was like on the track.
Back in the day when it was a ball mouse, right?
Yeah. it
Oh
was
my
terrible.
god.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
All right. So yeah.
this-
So the word game. So we have wrote down 10 words, and basically I'm going to just say this word, and I'm going to say it to you, one word, and you have to say first thing that comes to your mind, and then you're going to read me a word. Yeah, it's fine. And then you're going to read me your word. So are you ready? I'll start. Are you
So
ready?
you're gonna say a word. I'm gonna
gonna
say
say a
the
word.
first word that comes to my mind.
Boom. And then you're going to
And
read
then-
me your
and then
word,
it's
and
gonna-
then I'm going to say the same. Yep. We're going to
Then-
go back and forth.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not ready, but I mean, like I have to be ready.
You'll
but I'm not ready.
yeah,
I feel like I'm not
you're going to
ready.
have to say something.
Yeah.
All right. Ready? And spaghetti.
Meatballs.
Okay.
Is that how you do it?
Well, that was what you said.
That
Yeah,
seems like a good word to say.
Yep, I
And
would
I
have
feel like my response.
I would have gone meatballs.
I'm
too,
crushing
yeah.
this game already. I can feel it. Thirsty.
And hungry. That's
That's
two
two
words.
words.
But that's just what came to my brain.
So I'm winning
it
the
counts.
game. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's
It's
a
just
game.
whatever comes to
Yeah,
your brain
yeah.
first. You know.
I like. Okay, so give
Even
me
if
more
it's a
than word.
noise. You know, like because
Oh.
you said and meatballs,
Shit.
but that still counts because that's the first thing I think. Spaghetti and meatballs. All right.
Yeah, it has
Ready?
to be. Yeah,
You
we're
ready?
Yeah, I know.
And tickle.
Myself.
Okay.
I
All right. That's better.
should have said me Elmo. See, like hindsight,
No,
right?
no. It's better than
Yeah,
if
I
you-
said what I said, right?
Yep.
Slutty.
Bitches.
Oh, that's a good one. I mean,
Slutty bitches. Yeah,
relevant,
that's the only
relevant,
kind I really
relevant.
like.
I mean, we're talking about Best Buy girls, so.
Mhm, well, all right. Ready?
No.
Damp.
Moist.
Nice. Not bad. I would similar.
That's a horrible word. Some people hate it. I love it. I mean, smegma.
I mean, right away I just said Uranus.
It's
I
a
don't
word.
know why. I don't know, because smegma does sound like it could be like an extra planet that we just didn't know about. Not semen residue, but
You know, if we were to name planets, you and I feel like
smegma,
Earth is wasted. Like, what
I'd
is
add
Earth?
like
What is Earth? Like,
Skeet 109.
Yeah, Skeet
Just
109.
add, like there was
yeah,
a
Skeet
like 108 other ones we
like
found.
AIM, like during AIM messaging where you'd have to put numbers behind.
Yep. Skeet for you at.
Yeah. I
All
like
right.
it. I like it.
Wait, I did yours. All right. So,
Yeah.
pork.
Roins.
Okay, nice. Did you say pork roins or loins?
Roins.
pork, because there's pork rinds and pork loins. Because I was like, pork loins?
Loins.
That's
I swear, pork loins is the thing. I gotta Google
it's
it.
loins and pork rinds. You combine it loin and rinds.
I don't eat either of them. Yeah, you're right.
If you pointed at them, I couldn't figure it out.
You know, loins and roins were definitely in my mind, and I like it.
Listen, pork roins.
Pork roins, not even a word. I failed that one. Okay, you ready for this one? I feel like you're gonna do good on this one. Chip
Basney.
Honda?
Yeah, Chip Basney. Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
His name is Chip? It's like every commercial.
No shit.
You know, I never called you Chip. Never called you Chip.
I know, and you know what? And I remembered that you didn't, because like that's where I wanted to kind of segue into, like, people called me Chip at Best Buy. You know, it was funny about that. Not to take us off a tangent real quick, but my wife, when she met me, again, we were there at where she worked, which was Nick's Patio.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I met her. And Pat Rader was there, Dave Peck was there, and I'm like, oh, you're beautiful, whatever. We're gonna get married one day. I told her that, you know, as my waitress, and I got her number, whatever we talked. Anyways, they referenced me as Chip, and like my wife hated that name, and she's like, oh, God, I hope that's not his real name. And eventually I told her, I'm like, obviously my name's not Chip. It's Chris.
You told her your name is Dorito.
Yeah. But like people at work, yeah, it's Dorito, right?
It's Dorito Frito.
But people at work, they call me Chip, and the reason why, do you know how I got that name? By chance? You probably don't.
I don't.
So Lee and Z, it was on lunch break. They took me out in their truck, and they were doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the back. You know, we were all just talking, and they're like, we need to give you a nickname. I'm like, okay, like, what are you guys thinking? Like, Lee's like, you know, Lee Collins, man. He's like, how about Chip? You know, like, you're Chipper. And I'm like, all right, that's cool, whatever. Like, that's cool. But yeah, that's how they got Chip in the end. Not Basney, but
it's all like, because every commercial, Chip Bass. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know.
But that makes sense why you would go that route.
Yeah.
Vice, you know, that's
because I never called you Chip. Yeah.
And it's funny, like some still do.
You were Ruffner before your brother came into play.
Right.
Like, no,
and he was there before me.
Yeah,
but he was like installer quick. You know, he became an installer pretty quickly. And
yeah, I don't think I was managing him when he got to the certain point. All right, so we got to go. So what do I got?
So it was my turn.
Did you?
No, it's your turn.
You say,
I said Chip. It's your turn.
Trampoline.
Walker.
Trampoline walker. What does that mean? Is that someone who walks trampolines?
So I just listened to the old KQ podcast on the way here, and his was he loved getting home after a 12-hour day. And his kids were like, let's go. And after, being tired, he's like, let's go jump on the trampoline.
I got you.
And like, so that was in my mind still. Shout out to you, Jason. He's
jaywalk.
Yeah, you're right.
Every time
or The Rock.
Everybody says his full name. Yeah,
or The Rock.
I had to put The Rock in there. It was funny. Every time I'd be there, I'd be like a customer would say in front of you kind of look like The Rock. And I would always have to go, you know what? You kind of do. I never thought about that. Because it's just fucking joking.
Yeah, apparently.
So, of course, I had to be like, I call the episode The Rock. All right, what do you got for me?
Drunk.
And high.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a good combination.
Yep. Could have gone a lot of ways with that one.
Yeah, I really was thinking you'd go like way different way.
I just go right with my brain.
You got to do it.
Sometimes it makes no sense. It literally, it's just where my brain had went. All right, ready? Stuck.
Inner pussy.
Okay.
Shit.
Nice. I like where you did there. I was thinking
wasn't even trying to.
Stuck in a dryer or stuck, the whole little porn thing. But
brother.
You went right in
yeah,
there.
like,
Yep,
my bad. Like
you jumped over it. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm in there.
Pie.
I just want to say cream.
I was waiting for something.
I didn't want to.
Something had to be dirty.
I didn't want to. But
something had to be dirty. So like you went there, and maybe you were still thinking about what I said. Inner pussy. You
got to cream somewhere.
Sometimes you got to grab him by the pussy.
All right. Crack.
Is it my turn? Is it my turn or your turn?
No, I think I did just jump your turn. Did you give me a word? No, I gave you stuck.
And I said, so it's my turn.
And then did you give me? Okay, go. All right, go. Sorry.
It's okay. Christmas.
Tree.
That's easy.
I know, because the Christmas was right in front of me. I was like, I know. I
waiting for. You know what's funny? I even tried to give you this little hint and to put it in your mind is Mr. Hanky.
No, I wouldn't have gone there. No matter what, because when the word hits you, my brain just says an answer.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Deep.
It's like, what did you try to put in my head? You tried to win? You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna win.
Crack.
pipe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
that's
bad. Not bad.
that's what those things are, right?
Not bad. Other answers would have been crack kills.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Spank.
Me hard.
I knew you'd go with that route. I mean, and are you finishing my thing, or are you asking? Like, just to be fair.
I was asking a question. If you were willing to spank me
Okay,
hard.
so like,
yes,
and yes, I will. You know, I will spank you hard.
All
Okay,
right, we'll
good,
get some videos.
I'll be there. Yep. Set up the cameras. Let's do this.
Wait, is it my turn?
It is yours.
Okay. Ham.
Sandwich.
Okay,
That's
not
the only
bad.
thing I
Not
can
bad.
think of, like,
Not bad. I didn't know where you were going to go
yeah,
with the S.
I really wanted to go.
You stretched out the S for a long time. I was like,
Well, you know what? It's because like when you ask the question, like, is a hot dog a sandwich?
we'll get there.
Yeah. I'm like, that's already in my mind. I'm like thinking about sandwiches, you know, like, so that's all right. That's right. That's all right. Spanish.
Teacher.
Oh, tell me. It's a story.
So,
I can already tell.
I took Spanish for an entire year, and my Spanish teacher, I had vocational radio class, which means I went to school for like an hour, and then I just jetted out to go host my radio show, which was also called the KQ Show. 97.
Not to have a plug in there.
97.5. Yeah, it was like a local, high school radio.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot what I was talking about. That was it. Yeah, basically. So I did. So I had my show on there. So what was your question? You said what was the word?
What's the story behind that one?
What was the word? I forgot already.
Oh, Spanish.
Yeah. Yes. Oh,
He's
yeah.
the teacher.
So radio class, I'd come back for like to go to my Spanish class, and all she wanted was, I believe,
I know what she wanted.
was a gordita crunch.
Your Spanish teacher wanted a gordita crunch.
I would go. She wasn't even Spanish. She was like from Middle East, I believe. But she would teach Spanish.
Oh, good for her.
Spanish. I think she spoke like a bunch of languages anyway. And I would just go bring her
A gordita crunch.
Yeah, and then I go, are we good? You just give me a C the rest of the year? She goes, yeah. So I would just bring her a gordita crunch, and I would just get a C in Spanish.
That's awesome.
So every time I hear Spanish, I'm like, I'd say her name,
is-
but I don't know if she's still teaching. So
That is awesome. And it's funny about that. Like, basically getting a for sure easy grade for doing nothing is like, I was in public speaking. This is at IUSB actually. And my teacher, she went out to drink every once in a while. So like, so happened that I went to Corby's one night. She was there, and like things happened, not between us or whatever, but like he had a friend there, and like it was just like it was not a professional thing, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
discussions or whatever. Like not that I was like hitting on her or me, whatever. It was like nothing like that, but it was like a mutual like, this isn't appropriate for a teacher-student thing, right? When you're in my class, right?
Yeah, I'm in there.
Whatever they were saying, whatever,
Yeah.
right? And I just did not want to do my final, and so I just didn't. And then I just told her, I was like, I'll upload it later. Never did, and she ended up just giving me like a B, that having way heavily on the grade that like I would not have passed even without it right. So like I know like she just says like, I'm not gonna go down this route. B. She's just like, I'll just give him a B to see if he's cool with it. And like, of course I was cool with that. I didn't do the final, like, but
Did you have to go to speech night?
the what?
So at IUSB.
Oh, to give your public speaking? No. So like,
because they voted because each class.
no, we did, but you didn't have to be the one. You just had to go there, and like some did. Some didn't.
Everybody had to go watch a speech for sure.
Watch them.
If you went to ISB, but in every class, they would vote on who should go to speech night.
Yeah,
so I made this, presentation.
Probably great.
I added in jokes and things. I had it down pat. I'm all ready to go. I'm like, cool, I'm getting an A on this. And then she goes, your peers and classmates has voted you to go to speech night. And I go, I don't fucking want to do it. And she goes, well, you were voted, so you don't get a grade.
Unless you go.
So I'm like, shit. So, of course, you went to IUSB.
Yeah.
I went to IUSB. You're required to go watch one of these, right? So every single college kid procrastinates until the last week, which is when I was set to go on stage and give my public...
Oh, my God.
And
so you had like hundreds.
Hundreds,
Yes.
dude. You know that auditorium?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
To
Yes.
see it filled it made my skin kind of crawl a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. I mean, I can public speak. It's no problem. But I was like...
Are you one that like kind of blackouts as you're doing it? Like we're like, you're
No, I mean,
great at it, but like...
I mean... I don't know, like fear is like an adrenaline boost where you can either utilize that
Exactly.
fucking adrenaline boost to make you successful, or it's gonna sink you. And I've had that same feeling sink me to a fucking hole.
Where you're standing there, deer in headlights, you know.
But no, I went up there, but the hardest part was the lady before me. She had a mic, like a headset mic.
She like giving a TED talk
like
out
she
there?
had
Like,
been, like-
who is
like-
this TED talker?
Well, her son had died in a DUI accident. So
you already lost, brother.
And she's speaking the truth, and she did such a great job. She's up there, like I was like, damn. If somehow we found out that this didn't really happen, it would not. Like she was so good, like, and it was moving. It was like,
she's thinking
I was
tears.
like, damn. So what do? I go up there. Huh. Tough act to follow.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to throw a little joke in there, but I'm up there. It felt like 800. I mean, because I think that place could seat like
It was
800.
it's all big auditorium.
Huge.
Yeah, big auditorium.
And I'm like, why is there so many motherfucking people here?
Yeah.
Because everybody procrastinated the last week. And I'm like, so I had my buddies in the front. They were like, because you had to end on time. Had to end on time. If you were over.
Timer, yeah.
So I was like, I told my buddy, I was like, hey, just give me some hands when it's time for me to
wrap it up.
Give my little Winston Churchill quote or whatever it is. And all of a sudden I go, and Winston Churchill once said that, boom, time. Am I good? I looked at my teacher. I'm doing all this on stage, by the way. And I dropped an F-bomb. Didn't mean to. I joked about, like, my thing was like, hey, work to live, don't live to work. And this is while I was actually a manager at Best Buy working.
Yep.
Do you know, I during the holiday season, I made $11 an hour as a manager.
Did you really?
Because of the hours you work. Yeah, 70 to 80 hours.
Your salary then, right?
Oh, yeah.
But like you're working crazy
Here's
hours.
your 50 grand a year. You'll be working 80 hours this week. I go, that's dumb.
God.
That's 2 jobs.
What year was this then? I think I got hired in at like
06?
850 in 04.
Oh, I got hired in 04, but then I got promoted and everything else. So when they go, yeah, here's your first salary gig. I go, all right, cool. Like 50 grand a year. Oh, so
That sounds great. Yeah.
Like,
Break it down though.
And then I go, but I open 6 a.m. You want me to be here until 11 p.m.
Oh my God.
I was like, do you want me to keep coming back or what's the deal? What's going on here? But
Kyle, why'd you do that, man?
I did. You know what it was? It was a lot of cigarettes and neglecting my.
Really? You don't say.
It was neglecting my health, and I was with a chick that I fucking hated. So a lot of dudes are that way.
Yeah, so like I'll stay away from her.
Hardest working people hate their family. So
yeah, you're
I
right.
was a part of that, but yeah.
I asked that when Marines were staying late. I'm like, why are you here? Do you have family? Like, do you hate them? Like, go home. Go home when I'm on duty. I gotta stay there 24 hours. I mean, just go home. Like, I want this place gone. Like, everyone out.
I have things to do, so I don't want to go home.
Yeah.
All right. What was your word? My word? Who said last? I said ham. You said sandwich.
I think it was. I said the word because I said Spanish. So it's It's your turn.
Please.
Grundle.
Please, Grundle?
Yeah. The fleshy front bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, have you been pleased there?
Well, no.
I'm not saying that I have. I'm just saying that it's true. That it's probably a thing. People do it.
It makes sense.
Have you touched your Grundle? I'm just saying, like.
What is the Grundle?
The fleshy front bridge.
The fleshy
front bridge. Taint.
Oh, the taint. Well, it's like there's so many words for that area. The taint, the Grundle.
It's actually one of those. What's that stupid card game?
Yeah, Cards Against Humanity.
It's one of
where you got smegma.
Yeah. Well, no, I've lived that life. I'm kidding. I'm circumcised. But no, it's one of the cards.
Does smegma have to do with uncircumcised? I thought smegma was just semen.
No, smegma is actually like it's like if you're uncircumcised, like the cheesy substance that if you're not keeping yourself clean.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's smegma. Wait.
I did not know. No, I just thought smegma was just another word for a load left somewhere.
No, that's just cum, right? Like it's easy cum. Smegma is very unique. It's
skeet.
Yeah, skeet. Yeah, there are some like you're right, but yeah, what is it? The cards like the taint, the Grundle, the fleshy front bridge is the actual card, and I always like correlate everything. But yeah,
you learn something new every day.
Well, we all do apparently. I'm sure there's some followers, the thousands out there that are listening to your podcast right now. Tens of thousands. Sorry.
What did I say last?
You said fun, what did you say, fun or something like that, or like
what did you
please?
say? Did you?
I said
please.
Spanish.
You said your turn then. I said please, and then
now please. That's the word. Yeah, which is like zoo
keeper.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, I want it to be funnier, but my brain just spits it out.
Yeah, something like I said, like I could give you like it's too easy to be like breast, tit. Like it's so easy, right?
But then I would just say feed probably.
If I said breast,
I'd say feed right away because my brain just goes finish the word, finish the.
But then I say a non-funny word, you still like, zookeeper. Like fuck.
The weirdest word.
You can't win, man.
Yeah.
This is a harder because but at the end, like you're also like, how am I going to correlate this with like something that's like. But in the end, you always are going to say what the first thing that comes to your mind.
Which is why when we're on this is going to lead us into that next game. 1, 2, 3. Then we say a word. Can I get you? All right, ready? My last word, bitch. You wanted to say something else because nobody takes that long a break unless immediately you were about to say something else.
Listen, I'm gonna preface my answer, which is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna tell you what I was gonna say. I'm going to preface this with, I love my wife. I love her very much. She's not a bitch. She's not. Like, she's 100% not. But I joke with her sometimes, and I...
Call her a bitch?
I don't really necessarily even have to call her one. I'll just be like, she'll know what my thoughts are, and I'm just joking, right? So, Becca, I'm sorry. It was Becca. That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Get out of a joke.
But I love her. She's not a bitch. I'm a bitch sometimes. I'm willing to admit that. But, like, love you, Becca. I'm so sorry.
Now, also, I did reach out to Becca. She did.
No, you did not.
I asked her, I said, is there any one embarrassing story that he wouldn't willing to tell on his own unless I sparked him? She wanted to talk about a flatulence issue in the bedroom. Is there something that you want to dive into?
In my bedroom?
In a bedroom, maybe it's hers, yours. Is there?
I don't.
Because I made that all up.
Oh, good.
What if you go, dude? I farted one time. What if you just went into it deep?
Oh my
we almost
God.
got divorced, dude. I farted so hard.
I tell you,
a little bit
so
on the side.
I'll go in two things. I'll go two ways with this. First, I'll come back to the story about Best Buy. There's a story on that one, but the first one, I did not fart in front of my wife for over 1 year.
Ooh, that's a long.
We got
time.
married. Or we were together, or whatever, married, everything, right?
Years
for 1 year.
long.
So
No
the first
farting?
time, no fart.
Not even an accidental sneak
if I
out?
needed to go, there may be silent ones that whatever, but either way.
But it wasn't like a loud.
But like, no, yeah, rip it, just give it, let it out, right? Until we're in Florida at Universal Studios with my whole family, and I'm like comfortable. We're walking down whatever, like I'm going across this bridge to another ride, and I just let one rip, and then like, oh shit. My wife's right behind me, and I've never farted. And she just, her reaction was probably like,
Did you hear it or smell
did you just fart? Like,
she smelled it and I heard it?
She heard it.
Through it.
She at least heard it. I mean, that's for sure. She knew it was me, and whatever. But that was like the first time. And then after that, I was like, oh my God, I'm free. I'm free. I can just do this whenever I want. It's not new.
Yeah.
And since then, it was just been ongoing. But
Now, has she farted in front of you?
so she has not intentionally farted in front of me. There's been time where she's like sleeping, whatever. She's, and I'm like sitting on my phone, whatever, at night, late at night, and I hear a little bit of gurgle and, whatever, right? But nothing like was like rip one, like,
Like she's looking at you in the eye.
I'm married to you. What are you going to do? But, like,
Hey,
nothing.
like you see the new thing, I don't know if you see on TikTok. Hey, name my fart. And then like the spouse will go, and then like the person will go, and if it sounds like it, they're like, yeah.
No,
it's a real thing that's on social. Just in the past week, I've seen it. It's like it's called like name my fart or sound my fart. Like it's couples doing it.
I've not heard that. Becca, don't get any ideas, and I don't want to do that.
Hey, I promise. What that's hilarious because this the one wife. She goes, oh gosh, probably. And she made a wet sound.
Like, how can you like control your fart to mimic like what
because
is that?
They've been married for so long. She goes, I know all of your farts.
He knows, yeah.
Okay,
He knows.
what is it, noon?
Or
Guess
she
what? It's
knows.
going to be a wet fart. And then sure enough, he goes, and it made a wet noise.
Oh, you had Taco Bell? I know what this is
I
going to be.
was like, that's hilarious.
Exactly.
Like, to know somebody enough.
Interesting. Becca, don't get any ideas. But I know once that happens, like, where like I experience like a full-fledged, intentional let her rip from her, it's going to turn into...
A fart off?
Yeah, like where she's like comfortable around me. I don't want to smell them, period. Like, I don't
She
want
just had
I'm
family
sorry.
events.
Like, yeah, like, great. Okay.
We're going to
you're
celebrate our
comfortable.
wedding vows, but before for the Ruffner family, hork, gotcha. Your whole family's like,
So it's, I think what stemmed from like the delay of farting in front of her, not only that, but also her not farting in front of me. I mean, I don't even think I've told you, but how we met and how we how we ended up being together and then married. Long story short, met her in Nick's patio. She was my waitress. This is in 2009 when I got back from Iraq. I was out going drinking with Pat Rader, Dave Peck. We were having a good time. Gentlemen, it's late at night. Not very many places open. Anyways, went to Nick's patio. Very few places open. She was my waitress. I told her at night I was going to marry her. Pat somehow put my number in her phone, then called my phone. Either way, so I got her number right, and it happened. And then we stayed in touch since. Like, we text, called, not FaceTime back in the day, but like Skyped, AIM, whatever was available at the time to talk for 5 years. She had came by Best Buy shortly after we met, and she came by with one of her friends to Best Buy when I was at work to just to see me. I was working, whatever. That was like the second time that I saw her. Then the third time I saw her physically was when I was stationed in Texas. This is years later. And again, we were keeping in touch. Like when I deployed, she's got a boyfriend, I got a girlfriend. Either way, we were never free together, right? Or to see each other. Was when third time. I came home from Texas I'm on leave. I'm in the military, right? I'm on leave to visit family. And I'm like, hey, you're single. I'm single. Hey, if you're at work, whatever, I'll bring you some food. I brought her some Panera. I'm like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Let's go out to get some drinks. Went back to her place that night. We hung out and got to know each other.
Of her.
Listen, you're painting the pictures that I can't.
You're fully erect right now.
Well, it doesn't help that I'm pantless, but so we go to her place. Like, it's kind of like we've been friends. We know each other. Like we care for each other. Like this is like like a thing that was probably inevitable, and it was like meant to be. And like that was like what kind of like, hey, like we connect on like a very personal friendship every level. Like this is like, hey, if we connect on this level, like it's done. Like we're meant to be, right? Again, third time we've seen each other Skype, whatever, right? So it's not weird, right? The fourth time was when she flew down from Indiana when I'm stationed in Texas, and we get married in a courthouse.
Whoa, for real? Hold on.
Fourth time physically ever seeing each other.
That you hung
literally
out.
Saw each other physically in person.
But you guys built a really, really big
we
on
we had
Skype
such
then?
a solid, strong friendship and relationship. We're like,
because I remember somebody said, because I don't know how, maybe I don't know why I recognized her from, maybe it's because you guys at first started, because I think it was way after I'd already left. I was like, oh, it's cool,
What did you write? You went to what high school?
I went to Adams.
Oh, never mind.
No, I wouldn't have known her.
Yeah,
you guys were way younger. But I remember seeing, maybe I saw a picture or whatever, and I think I was like, oh shit. I think I was maybe talking to Dave or Pat about it. I was like, see, holler at that redhead chick. I was like, she's pretty hot. Like, get it. I was like, get it. But then I was like, oh, we don't know really what's gonna happen or whatever.
And then next you know,
and then the fourth time we hung out, we got married.
Got married. Yeah, I flew her down. I invited her. I'm like, hey, I'll pay your way. And at that point, I don't think she's ever been on a plane. So she flew down from Indiana, and when I told her, I go, hey, come visit. I'll pay for everything, flight, everything. Like single mom. She had a. I think Milena was 7 years old. I think 7 years old at that time when she flew down.
So she had a one child.
Milena, yep.
And that and she is now, that's a 17-year-old.
That's correct. Okay. That's the 17-year-old. And then we have Jack, which is hers and I's, and then Adeline. That's
and Jack is how old now?
He's. I'm so bad at. Don't do this to me. 7. He's born at 16. October 16.
I just counted.
October 16.
So he just turned 7.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm horrible.
I'm over going. Me too.
I told my wife I'm horrible at birthdays too. Like I don't know her birthday. I know it's January 20th or 22nd.
You got to.
But anytime
start getting weird tattoos on your body.
Maybe I should just Becca's birthday is and just write it all out, right? But and then Adeline, she just turned 4 because she was born in 19 in May, Star Wars Day. May the 4th.
Ooh, May the 4th be with you.
My wife, she the night prior drank some castor oil to make sure that happened. And I love you, Becca. You're the best for doing that. Castor oil, it's like
it's like a thing that helps.
It's supposed to if you to have a
pregnancy to get
it works though. Or? It makes it it's meant for I think to clean you out. Let's say you got stomach.
Yeah, so I've heard. Yeah,
but it induces. Yeah, so she did that the night prior to have it on. Sacrifices. I'm telling you, she's strong. She's strong.
She's wearing a whole full-on stormtrooper outfit. She's like, "Is this what you want me to wear?" You're like, "Yes."
Yep, she's strong. So 4th time fly her down, and I tell her, bring your driver's license, your social security card, and your birth certificate. Just bring it in case you need it. I said, in case you need it.
So you didn't tell her you're gonna?
I think she knew. Why else would she bring that stuff, right? I mean, I know she hadn't flown before. I don't think she's that like irrelevant, like that dumb on
Was she
flights.
that surprised though when you're like, how'd you do it?
I don't know if she, you have to ask her. Maybe she'll be on the KQ show next. But she came down. She brought all the stuff, and thinking about my wife, she has real bad anxiety on things, like especially in hot environments, because like that's when your anxiety kind of is heightened, right? But we go, we go to the courthouse. I called the courthouse, for my apartment, and I'm like, hey, I just want to expedite, because normally there's a turnaround, you got to wait, and all these things. I'm like, I'm military, and they're like, oh, we got you, don't worry about it. We go there, and side story, you ever seen Arrested Development?
Yeah.
So whistle, when the guy gets a whistle stuck in his throat, joke.
Yeah, yep.
So it's funny, we were watching those shows together, those episodes, and that episode was recently we watched together. So our not priest, judge that we swore, we did our vows with each other.
Yeah.
He had this whistle when he talked. So we're sitting there holding hands, looking at each other,
not to laugh.
just like it was so hard not to just bust out laughing when he was talking the whole time with whistle, whatever.
Yeah.
So again, that's fourth time. She flies back home. We're married. I'm a married man. She's married, and I'm a dad now. Like it's great.
Yeah.
So this is July. So I set it up, man. Listen, July 7th in 2014, 7/7/14 at 1400.
7
So
plus
2
7
p.m.
equals 14.
So 7/7/14 at 1400, 2 p.m. We got married. It says it on the birth or the marriage
cool.
certificate. So like I'll never forget. It's easy, right? That's what intentional. Yeah, of course, whatever. OCD, sure. So we get married July. Due to some court stuff and because of without going into that, but we couldn't take Milena out of the state because we had to petition the court and stuff, right?
Okay, I got you.
So this is all the way up until January of the following year. So this is 14. So January of 15, they came down, and I visited her, whatever in between there she did.
Right, I got you.
So like, we saw each other in between, but think about it, like less than 2 hands full of time of seeing people in person. And we were married, and we've been together. It'll be 10 years in next year. It's crazy.
That's awesome, man.
Like it's crazy. Like anytime I tell a story, I think it's unique. Obviously, I think it's special. I think we're special. We're very. Some say like it's a yin and yang. Excuse me, but I think she keeps me grounded, and then because she's grounding me all the time, she just has to be grounded. But we have that very strong personalities. We both have very great, very good humor. So we're very good on so many levels. But like where I need help in my own development, she helps me, and then her. And it's we're perfect. Like
that's awesome, man. It's hard to find somebody like that can.
It's so rare.
It's a dumb quote, but somebody that can. I mean, like it was a Jerry Maguire, "You complete me." But that just makes it because some there is always like a part of somebody that, man, this could really. You might not even notice, but like she benefits that part of you,
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
I mean, we say to each other I don't know what I'd do without you, type of thing, right? But ultimately, I do. I mean, I'd just be whoring around probably, right? But I don't know what she'd be doing. Probably just being great as she always is.
So I
would not whore around. Maybe
she'd be a great.
I would not.
Being a whore is not. I
couldn't do it.
It's not even. It's not. Not only is it not.
I can barely please one.
Not only is it not easy. But it's never really a thing that everybody's like, oh, man, you're single. I bet you can go out and just get whatever you want. But, like...
Especially when you get older, bro.
Yeah, but at my age now, all the other side wants is...
Like, it's crazy.
It is, please knock me up.
Yeah, I'm ready for, yeah.
Yeah, it's at that age, like, hold on, we skipped the gap. So I'm now I'm at the age where you skip. So
I've known you for 5 minutes.
Chicks that are like on birth control. No, I got plans, I got things. Now it's like the late 30s, early 40s. Now I ain't got nothing else. You seem like you got good credit.
Yeah, you got good credit. Oh, by the way, the app says I'll be ovulating next week. So if you hint, right?
Man, that was the scariest moment of my life when I kicked my ex out, and then my buddy moved in, and he was cleaning out a closet, and he goes, dude, what's this? It was an ovulation kit. She knew I was going to break up with her, so she was trying to keep a baby.
She was like pregnant.
And I go,
oh my God.
because I was fighting not having sex with her because she was terrible. and terrible.
Wow.
And did I mention terrible?
At sex or just
like,
everything?
oh yeah,
Person,
well, life.
everything.
Yeah, as a human.
Or like sex was like, okay, this kept us
no
going.
starfish.
Oh, okay.
Starfish. Yeah, you're the type. You're the type. Just
Oh, I starfish it up. Why not? You know, let them do the work.
I don't think a guy can. Well, I guess you could starfish.
It's real easy. Yeah.
You just lay that. You gotta.
Yeah. Why couldn't we?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Because if she's
Equal
if she doesn't
opportunity,
know how
I
to
say.
ride, then it's just a waste of my time and yours. It's like, what are
equal
you doing
opportunity.
up there?
Yeah.
What are we doing? I'd rather watch anything else. Could we watch Bob Ross paint like a nice valley instead of this? But
Let's
yeah.
not knock Bob Ross. He's pretty legit.
I love Bob Ross.
I loved him
There's
too.
a lot of things I'd rather.
Have you seen his
watch.
porns though? You're missing out. You're missing out.
I don't know if does he bring the palette?
Yeah. Hey,
I'm
I'm
gonna
here
paint
to
that
I'm here to
vagina
paint.
with a little Van
I'm here to
Dyke
paint
crown.
you. Here to paint.
A
Yeah.
little sea ocean blue.
Yeah. Why are you using a turkey baser?
Robert, can I call you Robert?
Of course you can. I'll be in you shortly.
It's Bob. I am a white guy with a fro. You fucking call me Bob.
Yeah, you'll call me Bob.
I earned this fro. All right, I'm gonna grab another beer, and then you ready for the 1, 2, 3 game?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
Penis.
we are going to do. Oh, that hurt.
Did you hear that?
It's deep in there.
That was a good one.
So the word game.
Word game.
So we've we've got the rules down. 1, 2, 3. We say a word.
Mhm.
Our end game is to come up with the same word. Are you ready? That's my water softener.
Okay.
It's screaming at
Something
me.
going on, yeah. It's
It's
weird.
Like, anytime I run water, it's like
I'm used to hearing kids screaming, bloody
no,
murder.
Not
around the-
anymore. Ever since I got rid of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, what was it? They were making. They
You
were
did it
just-
right. You did it right.
They
You did
were,
it right.
smiling kids. They were making hats and things, socks.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Christmas ties.
I like it.
All right,
I'm ready.
all right. You ready?
So how are we gonna do this?
You're
gonna say 3, 2, 1?
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and you just say a word. I'll say a word, and we'll try to figure it out.
Oh shit! All right, let me.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm trying to think of a word too.
Yeah, let's think of a word first.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Cheese.
Christmas cheese. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Crackers.
Quiche and cracker.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going to go with this. 1, 2, 3. cheddar.
Charcuterie board. What?
Charcuterie board.
What'd you
went
say?
with. I think I just said. I think I said cracker.
I said cracker.
Oh, I may have said cheese. I don't even know what I said. Charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board, which I won't be able to say again. Right.
I forgot what I even
if
said
I even did.
because you said it so fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so meat board, and I think I said maybe I said
Yeah, we'll
cheddar.
say meat board. Yeah, so meat
Maybe I
board.
said cheddar. Okay.
I think you did. Yeah, cheddar sounds
Cheddar,
right.
meat
'cause you
board,
didn't
okay.
say cracker. So okay. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Sausage.
Meat.
We're getting closer.
Okay.
Okay.
Meat and sausage. 1, 2, 3.
Hot dog.
Bratwurst.
Oh my
We're
god!
getting so what else is left?
I don't know. How do you relate those?
Shaped. It's just dick. Is that the only thing left that's shaped that way?
I mean, your penis is out, so I can't stop thinking of
So we
anything
said
else.
sausage and hot dog.
Sausage and hot dog. Okay, we got this. We got this.
Oh wait, no, we said I said bratwurst. Did I say bratwurst?
Bro, you
I said-
literally just said the word. How do you not know? I don't know either, but I mean, how do you not know? What are you doing? Okay, we got.
I said bratwurst. You said hot dog.
Yes, that sounds right. We got this.
Okay.
We got this.
1, 2, 3.
Sandwich.
Sausage. Oh, you said sandwich. Sandwich
for sure.
sausage. But now we're sausage.
Now
and
we're
sandwich.
now. I mean, see, now we're getting drifting apart.
We'll get there. All right. So sausage and sandwich. Fuck, we'll figure it out. I haven't. 1, 2, 3.
Hot
meat.
dog. Okay. Well, did I say hot dog before?
I think you did.
I think I did too.
So we're back at meat.
Meat and hot dog.
1, 2, 3.
Oscar Mayer.
Taco.
Okay.
Well, a hot dog could be a sandwich.
yeah.
Could a taco be soup?
Ooh,
What?
which
So
I think.
I said taco. You said what? Mm-hmm.
I said Oscar Mayer.
You said hot dog again. Did you say hot dog?
This last time I just said Oscar Mayer.
And I said what?
Am I supposed to say one word?
I don't know because
We got this.
to
got
this
this.
day I've never successfully
We were
ended up.
so close though. Like
Yeah, for a minute. Okay. So wait.
So Oscar Mayer, which let's be fair, probably maybe isn't one word, but you said
that's fine. You can.
your word was what?
I don't remember.
You got to remember these words. I remember.
I said meat. I said meat.
You said meat. Yeah, so we're kind of
Meat and Oscar Mayer. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Hot dog.
Wienermobile.
God damn it! Like, can I?
You
ask
just
you-
said hot dog last time.
No,
actually.
I said Oscar Mayer last time.
You said hot dog before.
So you said meat, Oscar Mayer. I was thinking, what the fuck, hot dog, right?
Yeah, I feel like we've already said hot dog.
We have, but I didn't know that there was a rule we
Yeah.
couldn't say the same word. Is that a thing? Because I didn't know.
I don't know. I don't really know. I think we're making up the rules
Let's make it as we go. So okay, you said Wienermobile. Okay,
Mhm.
I said hot dog.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Bun.
Oscar Mayer. Oh my
You
god.
fucking dick.
Oh my god. It's the fucking Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. And
We're gonna-
hot dog in a bun.
if we can't get away from hot dog,
Let's start again. We're gonna start with something different. We're going
yeah,
away
start
from meats.
fresh.
We're
Start
going away
fresh.
from meats. We're going away from meats. Okay. Ham. Nope, that's the meat. All right.
All
Ready?
right, start fresh.
1, 2, 3.
Cereal.
Skateboard and cereal. Fucking dumb.
Okay, we can do this.
1, 2, 3.
Teenager.
Cartoon. Okay. I was thinking Saturday morning cartoons. You're going teenage cartoon.
Oh, we got this.
1, 2, 3. Ninja
South Park.
Turtles. Oh, suck. They weren't teenagers.
Well, they weren't, but teenagers watch them because they're inappropriate.
You're
See,
right.
See,
I think that was actually a
it's
whole
different
episode.
minds,
Think of a
different
whole
minds,
episode.
different minds.
Think of a
See,
whole
Ninja
episode.
Turtles, South Park.
Fuck.
Fuck me. Like what the?
1, 2, 3.
I don't have
NSYNC.
anything.
I just said in sync.
Yeah, good,
I
good.
don't. I have
That,
no
you know
idea.
what? I think me saying I don't know is better than instinct as far as
What?
relation.
Where? All right. We're starting again. We're starting fresh.
Yeah, start fresh.
We're
Hold on.
We're gonna
do this. We get so close and then we fuck it up, man.
We're gonna get there.
Okay. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Snake.
Elon.
Snake and Elon.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Tunnel.
Rocket.
Tunnel and rocket. Fuck.
Fuck.
1, 2, 3. Mars.
SpaceX.
What'd you say?
SpaceX.
SpaceX Mars. It's not going to get us anywhere. All right.
There's no way that people get these in 3 times. It's like literally impossible.
Now,
It's all stage shit, anyways.
Yeah, you have to have like an inside
This is possible
joke.
to do, though.
Yeah.
Eventually.
You gotta have like your best friend inside joke.
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
that,
it
like,
is.
Yeah, or like a spouse or something like we're like
yeah,
you know
like
each
we're like
other's-
yeah, be like 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Farmers
think
market. Oh my god.
we just need to fuck more. Like that's what the problem is.
That's the
like
problem. We're not fucking enough.
Yeah, that's the
We can't-
problem.
We can't go into this unfucked.
Yeah, that's the problem. All right,
All right.
starting fresh. Start fresh.
Okay.
Starting fresh.
In there.
Based off of.
Nope. Can't say based off of.
Okay, not based off. Oh, I was going to say like. Just start
no
a conversation.
genre.
Just start a conversation, like what we've talked about.
Okay.
Like it could be a million things. We talked about a lot of things, right?
All right.
All right, we won't base it.
1, 2, 3. Cheese. Discount cheese. 1, 2, 3. Government cheese. I went with discounted cheese.
Yeah, I like it. I was gonna say, and I was trying to get it out, but it was blue cheese. So blue cheese,
government
cheese.
1.
You can't start counting when you get a word. You got to give me like a second. Give me a second. Give me a second.
What were the 2 words?
Blue cheese and discounted cheese, or government cheese. One of those two. So, was it government cheese? You said.
Yeah.
So government cheese, blue cheese.
cheese.
What's the word? There's a word that I know. I gotta get it. I gotta get it.
We're gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Cheddar
Chuck E.
cheese.
Cheese.
Oh, that was so
Oh, I
funny.
went Chuck E. Cheese, cheddar cheese. So we have So we got Chuck E. Cheese and cheddar cheese. What do we have? All right. 1, 2, 3.
Pizza.
Yes! God damn it! I was like, if he doesn't say pizza,
I know.
I'm gonna leave.
Like,
I don't
what's
even.
on- what's on-
I live here, and I'm going to.
What's
leave.
on Chuck E. Cheese? Pizza.
You go,
Cheddar. Like,
animatronic dying animals. That's the first
Man, that was
successful
good.
one that I've gotten
yeah,
on the
that's
show.
difficult.
It is.
Oh
It
my
is
God.
very difficult.
I think we screamed. You know what we should celebrate? Smell salts.
Yeah. God damn it. We already did the video.
That's fine.
Oh, I hate you.
We can
All
do a
right.
second video.
And no, we're gonna do the outro.
Outro.
So we're gonna sniff, And then I'm gonna be like, all right, thank you for listening to KQ show.
Hot Ones or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you should do. So how? Tell America what you're going on right now. For life.
Get the fuck out of here.
Do your promo.
Charcuterie board. You're an asshole. All right, if I'm gonna go with the goddamn smelling salts, then we're gonna do the outro. All right.
Is it weird? I can start tasting it again.
All right. So before we say our outro, we're going to hit these smelling salts one more time.
That was a great idea, Kyle. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
It wasn't me at all.
And then we're going to try to say our goodbyes. So I'm going to say, hey, any shout-outs you have before we leave? And then through the tears and pain, you're going to try to say that.
I think we'll be able to do
and
it.
then we're gonna say it, all right?
Yep.
Fucking assholes. God. All right, Kyle. Don't put your
this.
old fucking nose in there.
Yeah, don't drink it, you know?
Ah!
I think you spilled some. You're going to be...
Oh, my God. It fucking
right.
birds, dude. Fucking birds. Fucking eyeballs, man. So what do you got? Hey, any shout-outs you got?
I got bigger whiff that time.
You want to talk about shout-outs? My fucking eyeballs are burning.
Becca, thank you for letting me come here and do this and taking care of the kids while I'm here. To KQ. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. I'm glad you came, man. I'm sorry I'm crying.
I know, we were emotional right now. That was so much worse the first time. Thanks for having me. It was fun. Reminiscing, going through experiences, and I think this is what people need is to engage and talk and get with old friends. Remember old times, but not not the negatives, but the positives. Or even if there's negatives that can lead to positives, like I wouldn't be here today without some influence on so and so. Right? I think this is good. I enjoyed my time, and I'm willing to come again and not do smelling sauce later on. If that's the case,
You asked to do it again.
Yeah, but that's because the first time was bad. But this was I regret.
Yeah. Well, I thank you again for listening to the KQ show. We're gonna cry, just out of pure joy and love. Well, thanks again for listening to the KQ show. Thank you again for being a part of it.
My pleasure.
Ayo.